Yamonse my former blaster player Bafo Jai Yamoyen Famano AK Warrior One Ninuanom Chiwi Mone Bonsune Omo Makanyina Nyamisra Obibiara Yamoyen Fama Yenua Penny Bafo Jai Jumadiana na yasha ase no enti sabre ofa ya drusui ye beto nsa e de afra ye nua Ben Avraham Moshe one ni nua oka ne ho P Black bonsam ma ye nua Ben Avraham Moshe ene ye nua P Black sanka o original na so a enka baya me de sanka o original na so enka baya me de Yamonsam enfama yenua Ben Avraham Moshe NP Black Yamishrao openi kasiye ena yentonsa enso famfre Elder Amissah bonsam fama Elder Amissah Elder Amissah enyo no nko aso ene wa ha enyo no nko a one ye nyina ye sofo Reverend Kwame Amo of OKFM bonsem fama Reverend Kwame Amo Elias Chief bonsem fama Reverend Kwame Amo of OKFM papa we na ya na beti se oka news e wo OKFM eno nyame hira obi biara na nyame ento obi biara nkwam mepacha ni de obetimi atena se yese se wano so a enye nsem nyina na yeka hello se wano so a enye nsem nyina na yeden yeka ena se uti soso a no nkire se wo na wiase adwen nyina yeden ekutaw obi ho a ne ti eya ketekete na enso adwena da ne tirimu no adwena da ne tirimu no eya adwena yeden eso etiemfa uti eso no mo ho safo here se meti so etimi na ewiase adwene nyina ayede ewo mitrim John the Baptist ebabo kwan ne de ma Christ me de ma babo kwan na wie na de obedi dwumadi ehu tia me yemfa nsambo nsa moderator Fifi amra obey bonsam fama Mr Fifi abra obey se oba bedi dwumadi enu tia me nti opani kase sabre me hande kase mu na ma na de toso no wo de atoa so amaye obi amfili se wo fie na yensua ade say you already are and a bonsem from Jesus.
Midindi Fifi Mensa na jumedin say na tie obi abinya kwanja akasa for 50 minutes nti omu wi a ebia obi kan asem bi a wo pese obi bisa bibi ene so e ba makwan for 10 minutes ewi e be cross examination in the court there na so e de be shimo ha ene so e ba makwan for 15 minutes ewi e ba me 1 minute question and 2 minutes response mo ayenu mu de yinje mu a mo your audience no you'll be allowed to ask questions, and that one we allow 30 minutes for that, and then when we finish we give a closing statement for 5 minutes. So this is the order of the program for today. So ebefre yenu penny eye Ben Moshe ono bidin kan astarte jumedi no nti eba na kwaba na ide akasemu na man na wahyiase na yahwe de ede besi ede mase
try yo ebusiafo me eniji se ende de so ye nyina yasenhia em so mo aka bibia dada ya desua de bia meka se ukura gidie na gidie na ukura no kura no obi emputi question ambo pressure emma wonya hwehwemu ehu se wugidie no eye no kura na se enye no kure ti in one way or the other they be ade make kire a Christopher ne enkremofo se me either for good or for bad ubenya me ho mfaso fa ne se bia bonsam kura na asoma me a bonsam asoma me se me mbo pressure na wo Bible ne hwemu yi na wenya heaven akọ ti two things they be am repeat word way me Avraham ye wo me nkremoni me hu problem with nkremosom me frimu me ba Christopher nchen me hu problem with Christosom me kojiufo ne nchen me hu problem with Judaism ena me si me free ni nyinam na de enti a me free mo no me bodehuro na obi anso etie two things it is either you accept it or you reject what I say or shebie nim Isaiah chapter 53 ye ba be kan ho asem me Christopher nyina tie ase say no Christian or hweme ana otie me waso dem ha obetumi epagya nensa enwumre yi na waka kire me Avraham say we sua Bible no cover to cover answer o believe nobody me nka say the waken kan yo ye wo bi a omo wo chart bi a ye de kan Bible just a January kan we into just the person is reading for reading sake no waka kire bi so me Bible no makan ye wie ye wo makan ene ye wo mastadi enti ye kusku a obi entie in education we be class 1 na wa koduru SHS 3 na ye wo exam na wutumi pass a na ye di tumi krata ahye wonsem se wo ye graduate but religion yen church the Bible no ema wonti ase enyi ntumu ansa wa bedi akire David religion ye utwem na Christopher preachi na wugina ho na eka wakoma na we pagya wonsa wo pagya wonsa pe na ye se kedimachi papa Yesu and that day me no me ho family hye nkwa ho mem se si ye yemfa wodi nhyem enti waji edi no ne yakobo wesu ye bo wesu wi ane ye kyerɛkyerɛw obi enim se Yesu wabewu wehuna manne ye bo no ye de ne mayen ye nyina ye hwɛ Jesus form enti ye movie no ena fiti enkola bremu aye de anyi enne me be kyerɛ obi ase Isaiah chapter 53 enye messianic prophecy number 1 next Isaiah 53 is not a prophecy open Amissah e kan asem in the previous debate say Isaiah 53 omo bandi wo Israel you find the forbidden chapter enye say forbidden say yen kan but omo wade bia you find half Torah every week Jew for ni sua by Old Testament no every week for the whole year but eduru Isaiah 53 a no mo skip omo si mo munsua e de entia confusion kase e wo chapter we ho chapter we confusion ba ho e wo Talmud nim ebinum say it is about Isaiah and ebi so say Debbie it is about the nation Israel and to pay Amissah onim say Israel for dodo na nkasa omo say Isaiah 53 it is about the nation of Israel eye oman Israel and na weku na mane and ye describe no me wura Judaism no me bi say rabbi ba ko say adena Isaiah 53 musi problem wo ho and no see minsua na misua wi a me ne nye debate e try to say Isaiah 53 is not about the nation Israel but Isaiah 53 is about the prophet Isaiah eno rabbi ne mian kase biom Isaiah ho asemu me be kira wo na nwumre what is a prophecy openyine next openyine Amissah menim say oye English master eya monfa brofu ni hunhuna me dictionary ni maka say a prophecy is a prediction of the future enti me bieja sabe ekurasi ni ba me mente brofo we ye Oxford Advanced Learners Dictionary prophecy a statement that something will happen in the future, especially one made by somebody with religious or magic powers to fulfill.
Yeah.
And they say, yeah, Papa, Reverend Owusu Bempa, our yeah prophet owaha.
Yeah.
Yeah, Papa, Reverend Owusu Bempa, beshan komwa. On kase, mehu, on kase, nanado, rini election. It is not a prophecy, a past tense. Prophecy na ye dache, nanado be rini, or how be beba, amanie be beba, ensuyire beba. Enti prophecy ade ebesi dache na woka wansem sesia. Isaiah 53, enya prophecy, a past tense. Connect slide. Ye na ye ko school, ye wo past tense, ye wo present tense, and ye wo future tense. Me kasa sesia, me kasa I am teaching a present, and I taught yesterday past. I will teach tomorrow future. Into your prophecy, a future, a future. Jeremiah chapter 23 verse 5. Prophecy ni obedience.
Jeremiah 23
verse 5.
Verse number 5. Verse 5 no. Was it share? Or say any prophecy or say share. And be ever. And be ereba. Yeah. And be future. Yeah. Isaiah 53 may be verse 1 to end. We are Christian now can Isaiah 53 ya. Anyone can say Jesus and him. Isaiah 53, the book of Isaiah, starting with Isaiah chapter 1. So we see Isaiah 1 up to 52. Man can Isaiah 53 was him. It's a some mama movie. Part 1 to 53. Mema part 1 to 53. And now we share part 53 no. We share part 53 ya. We catch him say movie no. What he has said me. Ma share part 1 to 53. Me see Isaiah 1, Isaiah 2, Isaiah 3, Isaiah 4. The whole book of Isaiah. Me study. Me the book of Isaiah. Me be decode. Now me the actual say Isaiah 53. Isaiah was him. The book of Isaiah. Any Isaiah nkwane twerɛ. Bible books na munim no. Books ni na enye nipa na ni dinda so no. Ono nkwane twerɛ. Hwɛ Isaiah 1 verse 1. Hwɛ sɛ Isaiah na twerɛ ya. Isaiah 1:1. Isaiah 1:1.
Isaiah 1:1.
Was it Amos ba Isaiah ani so hini hunu?
Amos ba Isaiah eni so ade hunu.
Ohunu o Judah.
Ohun wo Judah. Isaiah na ekasa na obi na etwero. Obi na etwero Isaiah asem no. Enti enye baby na Isaiah na etwero. Enti Isaiah 53 eye hwan na ekasa. Be black. Isaiah chapter 53. Fabrofo no. Isaiah 53 eye the nation of Israel. Obi entie oman Israel. Ena all kasafa nyankopon akoa aye fe na Isaiah. Go back. Nyankopon akoa aye fe na Isaiah. Nyankopon suma ne ma Israel for ne tete no bebre kura nim se Isaiah ye bo no obi kura nim se Isaiah ye tutu na bodwe se nwi Isaiah amani Isaiah hunu ye no enom de act Jesus from no and me quote o Bible nim we yem be hyew enti the nation of Israel or reject Isaiah bisa opeyini Amissah say Isaiah ni wo te sen Isaiah or hini Manasseh ema ye de so e pai ni mumienu Isaiah ye chenimu zin Isaiah huna mane enti amania Isaiah hunu ye no na the nation of Israel or describe e wo 53 obi enti say yenkom sha Isaiah chapter 53 verse 1
wasi onyankopon akwa na amane hunu
onyankopon akwa na mani hunu
ne ni maso
ene ne maso enti kan brofo na hwade Isaiah 53 verse 1.
Was it the people replied?
The people replied. Now say, encrophobi na ekasa wo 53. Into people no na ekasa. Okay, into feto. A true topic bi say ya. And our knowledge of Hebrew no ye be use aha. Afi, Isaiah 53 verse 1. Obientie say yenkom sha kan.
Was it one oji in asen Kennedy?
Why na waji yen asen Kennedy? Message biara nyankopon me kasa as a Christian message bia nyankopon de bema Reverend Dr. Owusu Bempa no message ne nyane dia message ne ye oman no ene asolema ne dia ana meboa ana good enti message ya Isaiah edema Israel no message na nya Isaiah dia na emum eyoman Israel dia enti o say when na waji yen asenka ne di
na ewurade basa no
ewurade ne basa obi amfantu ne tirim ewurade ne basa no
wan so na ade die amane hunu
wan so na ewurade abasa no ade die amane hunu
na ofifiri se du fari onenim
oyesan
na ofifiri se du fari onenim
ofifiri eya past na future past tense
yeah.
Ofifiri se edufori nanim
se asase pese mu hini
se nipa no ofifiri se asase pese mu hini
oni ahofe
se nipa no oni ahofe
na oni enimonyam
na se nipa no oni enimonyam
na yehun no
na yeya den
yehun no
na yehun no pacho omu na dada anafe no be hu no na yehu no eye past yehu into Isaiah 53 is not a prophecy na yehu no
na oni suban ne ho ayemfe
na woni suban ebe man ne ho ayemfe
obu nanim tia
jebu nanim tia
na emelma epo no
na emema epo no
oye nipa hu ayede
oye nipa ohunu ayeyede
na onim yade
na onim yale se nipa no wayale da onim yale
obu nanim tia se
na yebu nanim tia se
obi nipa yi omani hinta no
obi a nipa hu na oyi omani hinta no tie ni ye se nipa no ye be kwese ye hwan ye hinta no
na yembu no hwe
se nipa no ye mu ne hwe ampa
yen yalwa no
yen nipa dom na ye kasa yen yare obi amfantu ni tire sickness yen yare no
wono na wafa
se nipa no na wafa
yen ayede nso
na yen ayeye de nso ono wasoa
na yen ye
na yen de
ye bunu se de wahwe no
ye bunu se de ayeden
yahwe no
na se nipa no ye hwe no on se meken kan no Jesus from na wahwe fitu nkola brem no eno na wo picture wo yemba shi usesi a ye bunu se de yahwe no
de nyankopon aka na shamane
obi a onyankopon aka no e de na shamane
na ono de
na se nipa ne de
ye mra tunti
aha ne opanyine mi sabeka se me se obi nsoa obi bone na se nipa no ye mra tunti
e no plan no
e no wo pra no na se Israel for bone nti ye pra se nipa no ye wade amienu ye wo punishment e ne ye wo consequence opanyini sofo osu bempa e kan nyame asem na ye bono a was point ne ye bono dabi enya nyame ade bone efo nti enti se sofo osu bempa ka se munti e ne ye bo me a o ye right and o ye wrong e ye mumu bone e na o sofa ana e ye adwuma ne ho amane eye enya wo bone no so awo eye adwuma ne ho problem akwese wo papa ka se kwabena mekume ho e de amaw wo papa sofa the consequence for you to be happy enye se nipa ni bewu agi nipa nkwa me ba Isaiah 1 na me ba beti ase waso ayale omomra tunti ene epra no to aso e
wasi yede mu yonti yen emum yonti ena odwele no
ena ye dwele no
ye na sodwu asotwe eda ne so
ye na sumdwe hu asotwe ekoda ne so
ne mantampia
tie by his stripes we are healed ne mantampia
ena ode asan yade
ena ode asan yade ni pekuo ne se omo yale na ye de se nipa no na ekiri ema no ye de asan omo yade ubewu yale ekro to aso e
ye nyina wo twetwede se enwan
ye nyina wo twetwede Israel fo nyina wo twetwede se twan
ye dandane efa ya kwan so
ye dane fa ya kwan so
ewurade ma ye nyina mu yo ekohwe ne so
ewurade ma ye nyina Israel fo emumu yo ekohwe ne so
wo hye na ho ya
ye hye se nipa na ho ya
na ono de
na se nipa ne de
obra ne ho ase
ye koku no obra ne ho ase
na wambie na no
na wambie na no
se odwama ode ne kwa woku no
oyedi ete se odwan a ye rekwa koku no
se odwanten
ete se wodwanten
wato no twitwafo eni mum
odwan a oto ne twitwafo eni mum no
wono so wambie na no
ono so ye koku no wambie ye drink na be jaji Jesus wambie na no
wodi ahodwan
ye de ahodwan
ni atemo eni ko
eni atemo eyi sa brantia no ye ne koi
na ne bresofo nso
hwan
na otwe ho se
hwan na odwene ho se
wo hwim ne fi asasfo so ko
ye hwim no efri atiasefo asase so ko
na me mai mra tunti
mra tunti
ene obo no
ene ye bo no me man mra to me man ne yo man ben Israel tie Ghana nka ho me man mra tunti ene obopo no
wo mandam na efra abonefo
ye man ne damna efra adebonefo we New Testament e quote wasesa no ye man ne damna ba bia ye kosie no ye sie one adebonefo
ene odifo die mu
ene odifo die mu e woni wom
na so wendi abonefo sem
na nso se nipa na ndi abonefo sem
na inada eni num
se nipa no enada eni nenum nipa no wentwantro da mesramo with all due respect ye de be check Jesus say Jesus sebe otwantro ana wentwantro me quote verse Jesus yetwantro we yembe hye kenkan niema bem
wo si eso Awurade ni say
na eso Awurade ni say
wo twa na ebo ne ade
odwere se nipa ne bo ne yade
so nye de oje de nkra to ye asudi afode
se nipa ne de ne kra eto ye asudi afode a
obehu asefo
aha na opeyine misa or apply the knowledge of the Hebrew word na hye ho no zira meaning descendant and as a offspring na ze se nipa no owoma Isaiah 53 verse 10 se nipa no owo ye ma ye wi ano nkyere mi Jesus ba kenkania ba dem
wasi obehu na sefo
ne
na be ware
na ne na ebeware
na de so Awurade ni afa ne nsa so ayiye
na de eso Awurade ni afa ne nsa so agyegye
obehu ne kra bre ne ho ade amen
se nipa ne behu ne kra bre ho ade amen
na ne hunumu na mako atene no
na ehunumu na mako atene no
obenya tene ama nipa bi
obenya tene ama nipa bi
na ono so afa omuyo so asoa
ono so afa won emumuyo asoa
na senti meche ade ma nipa ebremu
nyankopon so obecha ade na wa manipi ewo nipa bebre mu
wode anwodefo ache asade
na oni ahodenfo ebeche asade
ebise
efri se
wode ne kra eto ma wu
se nipa ne de ne kra eto ho ma owuo
bobu ne tia mratofo
na yebu no etia emratofo
ai
Isaiah 53 mawie
oh yeah
eye hoan wasem ena makenkan ne tintin sei Isaiah chapter 1 verse 2 afi na agro ne ba be start
areho
me be start Isaiah 53 me constate Isaiah 1
yeah
mesramo ye ka so be a scholar of a book enye amanfo book abekenkan
oh David
from the same manuscript be a master of the Bible not a master of book obi atro good because mo ye asole a mo use book obi atro wait sabe any de tight na collection
yeah
ye nkotu Joseph senu asem de collection good kan Isaiah 1 kan verse 1 verse 2
Isaiah 1:2
me ba cho bi antie one se ba cho Isaiah servant prophet
yeah
Israel servant nation the most difficult book to understand in the Bible one of the books and isua ye den the book of Isaiah Slemo kan yeseden
wasi osumuntie okay
pacho kan
wasi osumuntie
Isaiah na ekasa osi osurumuntie
na asase ya so Awurade ekasa
Awurade na ekasa
manya mema ema wonyini
nyankopon se ne man Israel wanyen ne ma Israel ema Israel yanyini
na mama won so
na we picture Israel ama won so
na won de
na Israel for de
wabɔ me soko
omo abɔ nyankopon soko
nentwi enim ne wura
nyankopon se nentwi ekura wonim ne wura
na efunu ne wura daka
na efunu pɔnkɔ onim ne wura edidi daka
na Israel de
na me man Israel de
onime
Israel nimme
mema enim tiase
Israel fo nintiase
awo oman de bɔnefo
oman de bɔnefo
oman omaso de e
oman omaso ye duru
emuyofo asefo
emumuyofo asefo
ema wapro woje Awurade
Israel eje Awurade
wobu Israel kuku ni nanim tia
wobu Israel kuku ni nanim tia
wasen omachi
Israel for sabra na Israel for ya soden ema Isaiah ni Jeremia nom aka kire Israel for se Israel for nya soden na obesuma na koa Nebukadnezar na wabe destroy omwasase no makoye nkoa afeto aso kan
wasen omachi
wa Israel sign the chi
na denti na wombo omoa
adenti na yembo Israel
se mo koso asamochi
say Israel mo koso sign mochi
na etimu nyina eyale
enti oka kire Israel say free Israel niti empenyufo no obi ayeden
na komamu
eyare ye pachaw enti Israel oyare yare be no oyare bone spiritual sin eye yare anameboa enti spiritually oman Israel ete say yalefo esan say wapu Awurade enti Israel obi amfantu ni tirim Israel oyare Israel is sick to aswe
wasi etimu nyina eyale
etimu ni nyina yare
akoma nyina ahojo
akoma ni nyina ahojo
efini ase
efri Israel na nan ase
edikosi tifi
edikosi na pempem
emudie bia eni ho
emudie bia ni ho
epreko ni sosoaye wasi epraye ene ekrokro
osi Israel we pra ene we tutu kro me pacho the nation of Israel nyankopon describe spiritual state say obi a wo yale na we tutu kro kanye
wasi omiaye
na ekuro ne kura ye mian
na wanchechire ye
na ye nchechire
won fa engojojo ye
ye fa ngonjojo ye
mwasase adampan
mwasase ntiye aha no the nation of Israel oyare wapu Awurade enti na nyankopon pe obi na wasoma no na oni Israel fo akokasa Isaiah chapter 6 verse 1 kenkan ne ma be
Isaiah 6:1
nation ne yare nyankopɔn po bi asoma no na wakɔma Israel warning yɛmfa sɛ ɔman Ghana yɛdi bɔne na wɔman no asɛe a nyankopɔn ɔmfa n'ano mbɛtɛ soro hɔ na wɔnka sɛ Ghanafoɔ monsakyera mo adwen na mmom sɛ ɛyɛ nokorɛ sɛ nka nyankopɔn ɛne nnipa kasa a anka ɔbɛfa the nation prophet owusu bɛmpa so na waka sɛ papa ka kyerɛ Ghanafoɔ sɛ wɔn nsakyera mo adwen. The same thing na oko chusu Isaiah. Kan yesterday.
Isaiah 6:1.
Isaiah chapter 6 verse 1.
Odifo ne frɛ ne hye.
Odifo ne frɛ ene ne hye. Kan
wɔsi afi ɔhene Usia ewuye no.
Ɔsi afi a ɔhene Usia owuye no.
Mihu Awurade sɛ.
Mihu Awurade. Hwan na ɛkasa no? Isaiah ɔsi me Isaiah mihu Awurade sɛ.
Wɔti edu akron.
Ɔti ekonwa akron.
A wɔma so so.
A yama so so.
Na tade mo ne asɔre hwe ma.
Na wonyankopɔn atade ayɛ asɔdan ne ma.
Seraphim egyegya ne so.
Abɔfo a yɛfɔ seraphim gyegyina ne so.
Wɔn ntaban nsia.
Wɔn wɔ ntaban nsia.
Wɔde mienu kata wɔn anim.
Wɔn de mienu kata wɔn anim.
Wɔde mienu kata wɔn nan.
Wɔn de mienu kata wɔn nan ho.
Wɔde mienu tu etu.
Na abɔfo de ntaban mienu tu.
Na wɔtiam ekyɛ wei sɛ.
Na abɔfo no wei tiam kyerɛ wei sɛ.
Kronkron.
Kronkron ni Asafo Awurade.
Na nimonyam ahyɛ asase nyinaa ma.
Na nimonyam ahyɛ asase nyinaa ma.
Na apono ase ɛwɔ so.
Ɛna apono ase wosoe.
Deɛ na ɔrekasa ne nti.
Deɛ na ɔrekasa ne nti.
Na wisie ɛɛdan no ma.
Ɛna wusie ɛyɛ asɔdan ne ma.
Ɛna meka sɛ.
Ɛna meka sɛ. Bɛpatwɔ me na ɛhwan. Ɛna me Isaiah meka sɛ.
Menue. Na mayira.
Na
me nipa na no ntie.
Me yo nipa na no tie o fatu tirim. Isaiah me yo nipa na no wonte.
Na beti ɔman ɔman ho ntie mu.
Na meti Israel fo a ɔmo ano ntie mu.
Efisɛ ɔhene.
Efisɛ Awurade. Asafo Awurade.
Ɛna mani hu ni.
Ɛna me Isaiah mani hu ni.
Yɛ na seraphim baako etuba me nkyɛn.
Ɛna bɔfoɔ baako etuba Isaiah nkyɛn.
Na okura nsrama.
Na okura ejasrama. Ayɛ sɛ koropɔt suja. Okura ejasrama.
Wɔde dabai kɔfa afɔrebukyia nso.
A wɔkɔfa na afɔrebukyia no so no.
Wɔde kama no ka sɛ.
Obi entie. Ɔde eja ne ka Isaiah ano. Ɛna wɔka sɛ. Hwɛ.
Wei aka wano.
Woyi
omu yɔkɔ.
Yeyi wemu yɔ. Wo Isaiah. Yeyi wemu yɔkɔ.
Wakata bɔne so.
Na Nyankopɔn akata wo bɔne so. Tempakyɛw Isaiah aha no Nyankopɔn wate ne ho anɔnte ne ho. Wayɛ holy anɔnyɛ holy. Enti Isaiah servant prophet yɛayɛ ne holy. Toa so.
Wɔsi na meti Awurade ne sɛ.
Ɛna me Isaiah meti Awurade ne sɛ.
Wɔsi.
Awurade se.
Hwan na me nsoma no.
Ɛna Nyankopɔn bisa sɛ. Hwan na me nsoma no.
Na hwan na bɛkɔ ama yɛn.
Hwan na bɛkɔ ama yɛn. Yɛn ni gyina ma ɔsorofoɔ.
Oya.
Enti Nyankopɔn po bi obɛyɛ adwuma wɔ asase so ama no. Bɔɔbi wekura ekristofo ni bi nim. Ɔmo de twitwa anyom. Ɔmo ka sɛ Jesus sɛ ɛbrɛ bi Onyankopɔn bisa wɔ soro kɔ sɛ hwan na me nsoma no. Na hwan na bɛkɔ ama yɛn. Ɛna daddy Jesus. Ɛka sɛ papa minie dabi o.
Dabi.
Ɛyɛ Isaiah. Kan na hwɛ.
Na meti Awurade ne sɛ.
Me Isaiah meti Awurade ne sɛ.
Ɔse.
Nyankopɔn se.
Hwan na me nsoma no.
Na hwan na bɛkɔ ama yɛn.
Ɛna me se.
Ɛna me Isaiah me se.
Mini. Soma me.
Obi entie. Enti Isaiah kan sɛ mini soma me. Aha na obi entie. To aso ɛ.
Ɛna wɔse.
Ɛna Nyankopɔn ka kyerɛ Isaiah sɛ.
Kɔ ka kyerɛ ɔman yi sɛ.
Isaiah kɔ na kɔ ka kyerɛ wɔman. Bibisa mo nti Isaiah. Ya soma no hwan mo nkyɛn. Israel. Kɔ na kɔ ka kyerɛ wɔman Israel sɛ.
Tia na mo nteɛ.
Message na wo Isaiah wo de ba no. Tia no mo bɛte.
Na mo nte aseɛ.
Na mo nte aseɛ.
Na hunu na mo hunu.
Wo Isaiah ɔmbɛhu sɛ me Nyankopɔn na me soma o.
Na mo hunu mo.
Na wo hunu. Tipa kyɛw. Isaiah message no. Ɔka Israel fo bɛte aseɛ na mo nte aseɛ. Na ɛkyɛ sɛ Israel na so ayɛ den. Esi. Israel is sick. Blind and deaf. N'ani efra ohun Isaiah na so esi ɔnte message na se. Twaso ɛ.
Wɔsi ma ɔman kuma mprimu.
Ma ɔman na kuma mprim.
Na ɔman so nye duru.
Na Israel fo aso nye duru.
Na ka ɔmani fimfam so.
Na ka ɔmani fimfam so.
Wɔnfa ɔmani ehunu.
Na wɔnfa wɔ n'ani ehu.
Na wɔnfa ma so ante.
Wɔnfa wɔ n'aso ante.
Na makoma so ehunu mo.
Na ɔmo akoma so ehunu mu.
Na wansakyira.
Obi enti ha. Na Israel wansakyira.
Na wansa wɔ yadeɛ.
Na yansa wɔ yadeɛ. Timpacho Israel ɔyale ana ɔnyale. Ɔyale yale bɛn. Bɔne. Timpacho enti eduro a ɛbɛsa ɔmo yale no. Why na di eduro ne kɔ? Eduro ne yɛ den. Onyankopɔn asɛm. Enti Isaiah ɛna ɔde message no eko heal Israel. Isaiah chapter 20 verse 1 kan. Hwɛ ɔno prophet na ɔkɔ preach no. Hwɛ enim guase a Nyankopɔn ebegu Isaiah. Mesra mo ya papa Reverend Usubempa ka asɛm bi. yeah, you're very careful. Me kana social media for you, you're very careful how we see people on social media. The media has a way of tarnishing people's image.
Oh yeah.
Me who ya papa so for subempa. I'm a ben am na se kasai. And I'm say me who said he's a different human being from the one we see on social media. Me say we nimia na wo hwe me teaching a wo be ka say me arrogant, me violent, me cool guy bi o.
Oh yeah.
Na won say me mpopo me ni kakra wa mo be fa me so. Te am we hu na mo no. Why? Na para akura ye ni bi. Why? Ti me sra mo pa. Ade ye fe. Ya ba so dem hey bebre e na me nko e na hey na so dem ho enko e na de abey. Sebe mpreduasa ya papa be ya me boni mpo a na so dem wa da bi ye nyai yesa ye sei ni pedin egu ni pe ho fi tin pa cha Isaiah chapter 20 verse 1 kan
wasi afia titan eba Ashdod
osia afia titan eba Ashdod. Yeah, fast.
Coffee Radio.
Yeah.
The wait is over. Finally, the most awaited radio station is here. Coffee Radio, the all-around radio station for breaking news, politics, spiced up with the best African music, most desired entertainment shows.
Isaiah 21.
Isaiah chapter 20. You will say. Manenko so kakrama. Omo fa fofraba. Pacho transfer.
Afia titan eba Ashdod.
O say afia titan eba Ashdod.
Ebra Syria hene Sargon suma no.
Abra Syria hene Sargon esuma no.
Na oni Ashdod kokon ye no.
Na oni Ashdod ekokon ye no.
Na ofa ye no.
Na ofa ye no.
Ebra ni mo na wade nam Amos ba Isaiah so kan say.
Ebra ni mo a na ewrade onam Amos ba Isaiah so kan say.
Kona ko yi tuma no hwase mu.
Obi entie. Nyankopon ka kire Isaiah say. Isaiah kona ko yi eyitoma na chasa sabre na Israel Isaiah odi awreho e dia ma Israel eto hye black nyankopon si afei Isaiah koyi atade black no
na sanom pabo firi nan ase
na Isaiah wuhwi a jiwu mpabo firi wonan
na oyesa di adeja
Isaiah eyesa edi nakedness adeja
ni anamuhunu nante
eni anamuhunu nante be pa cho nyankopon ka kira ase Isaiah mo naked no mfen nante bibisamo eye enimguase for the prophet and enye enimguase pacha nye disgrace odifo preach a why naked say pacha odifo obo naked na wo preach a uhu na obehwe no ana obeyi wani obehwe naked no odifo abo naked e ba na uhu na ubeyi wani ana obehwe no eni dia wo ma nti ubeyi wani esanse wa bo naked o Nyankopon nipa afa to aso e
wasna ewrade kan say
say dem akwa Isaiah
makwa Isaiah
When we say Isaiah, Nyankopon friend servant. Isaiah chapter 20. Okay, can you bro for the servant ni yemienu. Jewo Isaiah, servant prophet. Ena oman Israel, ono so ye servant as a nation. Now Isaiah, Israel servant nation no. Ena confuse the nation of Israel. Kind.
Was it when Ashdod was captured?
Or say when Ashdod was captured,
the Lord said, my servant Isaiah has been going about naked.
My servant Isaiah has been going about naked
and barefoot
for
3 years.
It's Isaiah or you naked and barefoot for 3 years. Now a sign. Ti odi for na Nyankopon frɛ no no. O gu nanimu ase. for the nation of Israel. Said the Baya Israel, Ebesaban in chain. People like to aso kind. Okay, yeah. Yanko Isaiah chapter 49, verse 1. Yeah, that be your answer. Isaiah, or your servant.
Yeah.
Israel, so your servant. Mame, Isaiah chapter 44, verse 1 and 2.
Isaiah 44 verse 1.
Isaiah chapter 44 verse 1.
What's na afeti?
Or say afeti.
Makua Jacob.
Makua, mwamu say Jacob and one Israel.
Yeah.
Makua Jacob.
Any Israel ameyiwo.
Any Israel ameyiwo. Why? Isaiah chapter 44 verse 1 and 2. Israel, Yankopon friend is servant. Isaiah also friend is servant. Into Isaiah chapter 53, a servant ben.
Yeah.
And a gradual, the most difficult chapter, Isaiah chapter 49. And when I'm starting here, I'm a bedroom. After that, rabbi, on who the oncadium. Memma obi limited to the interpretation of a scripture. Be a winning a kind.
Yeah.
Memma being Jew for no. My name again say, Tanak na mikran bagasia. Commentary bebre na rabbi Maimonides na ochirem na we chirem enye wunchirem na metie de ya tro na me kenkan we so why to aso kan
Isaiah 44:1.
Isaiah chapter 44 verse 1.
The Lord says, listen now, Israel, my servant, yeah.
Pachanti Israel, Yankopon say, why your servant? Anamebwa,
yeah.
Good. Yansanko another verse. Just say Israel your servant. Isaiah chapter 41 verse 8.
Isaiah 41.
Isaiah chapter 41 verse 8.
Verse number 8.
Isaiah servant prophet. Israel servant nation. Kind.
But you, Israel my servant.
Israel my servant.
Yeah.
Okay. Yanko ba konkao. Isaiah chapter 44 verse 21.
Isaiah 44
verse 21.
Verse number 21.
Yes.
Verse 21. The Lord says, Israel, remember that you are my servant. Yeah.
This is servant na koyetu. Israel servant nation. Isaiah servant prophet.
Yeah.
Isaiah chapter 49 assembly sheho. One here we begin say the nation of Israel. There be Isaiah who asem.
Yeah.
In Isaiah chapter 49 Nyankopon offer Isaiah say Israel and the confusing rabbis no
Isaiah 49.
Isaiah chapter 49
verse number 1.
verse 1.
Was it onyankopon akwa ni adwuma kese no?
Onyankopon akwa no na adwuma kese. Akwa no o adwuma kese bi obeye. Ya be kenkan. Hwe se Isaiah and say Israel kan.
Was it muntie me?
Ensuan muntie me. To why na kasa no? Oh, why na kasa no? Isaiah osimuntie me ensuan aman
na monya aso echichi man Ewurade afrɛ me fie funu mu efiri yefunu mu twaso
we
fi me na yem eno bo me din
ofiri me ma me yem eno bo me din
na oyema no se afna nanam
oyema no ete se sekan nanam
ne nsase nyunu mu na do me sie ye
ne nsase nyunu Nyankopɔn ne nsase nyunu eno de me Isaiah esie ye duru 53 a ewo ho Nyankopɔn de Isaiah ehye ne nsase
na odemi ejan ehun akokwa
Nyankopɔn de me Isaiah odemi ye arrow a ehun akokwa adentia ono de message ne ko nti Isaiah owo Israel for no monsakra o ete se arrow
na odemi sin kotokuo mu
Nyankopɔn de me Isaiah esie ni kotokuo mu eno nche se Nyankopɔn fa Isaiah edni hye ni botom meaning Nyankopɔn bo ne ho ban
na okahye me se
na Nyankopɔn ka kire me se
makoa enewo Israel amenya hwani monyam no
Israel amenya hwani monyam o sa ha o se makoa ne Israel amenya hwani monyam to beka se eye Israel ho asem me se enye Israel adenti na Nyankopɔn frɛ Isaiah Israel wo behunu e wa kenkan nim to aso
wasi na me de me kan se
me Isaiah me kan se
mabregu
me pa cha e de enti no se wa bregu no preach na wo preach no Israel 40 ase
nabi
okoye no omu hura no mu ehunu ejuba be na edin se Nyankopɔn se kona ko preach ba preach no obi ante ase ase me dia ma bremegu
masema ho de amade hunu
masai ma ho de amade hunu
eni ehudie
na
sumatemu Ewurade nchen
Ewurade nchen
na madwuma so de ewo Nyankopɔn nsem na afi Ewurade se
enti Isaiah complain no Nyankopɔn ma na reply afi Ewurade se
de onyunu me fie funu mu
de onyuni me Isaiah free yefunu mu
sembe na koa
se membe ye na koa
na me san Jacob embra ne nchen
na me nsane Jacob embra ne nchen na me nkofa Israel embra nti say ye Israel ba cho Israel obetu nkofa Israel ba dabi nti Nyankopɔn Bobi aseden
was na afa Awurade say
na afa Awurade say
de onyono me free yefunu
de onyono me free yefunu
se me na koa no
se me be na koa
na me san Jacob embra ne nchen
na me san Jacob embra wono Nyankopɔn nchen
na me mpoa Israel no embra no
na me moa Israel no nya den embra no de ye Israel na yesoma no anazaya wono no kofa Israel fo na ba aha and the confused rabbi some say Israel no African can yamba them
was it if he say menim ebenyam Awurade nim
menim abenyam Awurade anim adentia yate ne ho oye holy enti ono no oso Awurade ani o man ne yade bone ye foto aso
na menyankopɔn ayɛ mahoɔden
na menyankopɔn ayɛ mahoɔden
ɔse ɛyɛ hare sɛ ɔbɛyɛ makoa
Azaya o ka sɛ ɛyɛ hare sɛ wobɛyɛ makoa
wama Jacob musuekuo so
na wama Jacob musuekuo so
na odi Israel mu wana wakora wɔn asan aba
na wodi Israel mu wana yakora wɔn sabe na Israel for Babylon ɔmo aya for ɔmo akɔ no wodi message no ɛbɛ fra ɔmo aba
na medo bɛyɛ amanama han
da me de wo Azaya ɛbɛyɛ amaman han
wɔyɛ me nkwagye akodu asase ano
na wo Azaya wobɛyɛ nkwagye akodu asase ano
na saa na Awurade Israel dimafoɔ ɛne ɔkronkroni no
ɛne ɔkronkroni no
yɛka kyerɛ de obu ne kra nimtia
ɛka kyerɛ deɛ yɛbu ne kra enimtia timbachaw hwan ene yebu ne kra nimtia no Azaya adentia okɔ preach no omu entie no omu bu na nimtia ye through 53 a obɛbɔ wo nsɛm people akenkan yɛm ba bɛm
de ɔman chi no
de
ɔyɛ nhyɛsofo akoa ne sɛ
Azaya a ɔyɛ nhyɛsofo akoa ne sɛ
ayemfo behu no
Azaya sɛ wuwie wɔ adwuma ɛwɔ 52 wuwie wɔ adwuma ahemfo behu no
na wasɔresɔre
na wɔbɛsɔle
asafo nso
na
wakɔtɔ sɔre Awurade
ɔmbɛkoto asɔle Awurade
ɔyɛ nokwafoɔ no
ɔyɛ nokwafoɔ no
Israel kunkuni a oyi wo ne
Israel kunkruni a oyi wo Azaya nti
sɛ Awurade sie ni eni so brebo ɛna metie wo
Azaya
nkwagye dewo ɛna maboa wo
na nkwagye dem ɛna meboa wo Azaya
na mɛkra wo na medo ma yɛ ɔman apam
mede wo Azaya ayɛ deɛn ɔman apam wɔn sɛ mo wɔ prayers bi a mo yɛ a na yɛ sɛ wobɛyɛ point of contact for your family meboa meboa na wobɛgyina hɔ as adwoa menu a wofiri webusuam na wogyina hɔ as point of contact for your family enti ɔman Israel no wabɔko ɔkɔ Nyankopɔn fa Azaya ɛde na yɛ te sɛ Israel point of contact a ɔde frɛ Israel ɛno nti na in Isaiah chapter 49 no ɔfrɛ Azaya Israel kenkaneɛ nkɔ
wɔsɛ mede ayɛ ɔman apam sɛ
mede wayɛ ɔman apam sɛ
ma asase no so si hɔ nom
na
wɔmfa agyapadeɛ yɛ afɔn no ɛdi so bio
na Israel fo agyapadeɛ na yɛde kɔ no ɔmo mfa mmra mbɛdi asase no so biom
na ka kyerɛ nebɔnɛfoɔ sɛ
na ka kyerɛ wan
ka kyerɛ nebɔnɛfoɔ
na ka kyerɛ debɔneyɛfoɔ wan ne debɔneyɛfoɔ no na ka kyerɛ Israel debɔneyɛfoɔ sɛ
momfrɛdi ɛne ɔna wɔ esum no sɛ
wan mu na ɔmo wɔ esum no na ka kyerɛ Israel fo no mo wɔ esum no sɛ mompie
akwan so na wɔbɛdidie
akwan so ɔmo ba akwan so mbɛdidi
na mpampa pata nyinaa so
na mpɛpɛpɛtɛ nyinaa so
ɛyɛ bɛyɛ wɔn adidibea
ɛbɛyɛ wɔn adidibea
ɛkɔm ɛndi ɔmo
Israel fo ba ɛkɔm ne wɔn
na sukɔm so ɛndi ɔmo
esukɔm ne wɔn
na kumaforɔ teɛ ɛne owia renka ɔmo
ɛne owia nso renka wɔn
na deɛ ohu ɔmo bɔ no
na ɔno Nyankopɔn a ohu Israel mɔbɔ no
ebegya wɔn wakyɛkyɛ wɔn emasuo so kwan
na wakyerɛkyerɛ wɔn mesuo so kwan ti Isaiah chapter 49 mawie afei yɛmbɔ reverse yɛmbra Isaiah chapter 42 verse 1 servant mienu no obɛti ɔmo ho asɛm Isaiah chapter 42 verse 1 to 9 ohia ne akɔ verse 18 kenkan na yɛmba abɛm
wɔsi Awurade akoa no sɛsi a nkoa na yɛ mienu eti hwan ho asɛm ɛne yɛba bɛ kenkan kan topic ne sɛ dɛn Awurade akoa no
akoa bɛn agye sɛ yɛ kenkan thank you my brother yɛbɛ kenkan enti sɛsi ano yɛhu deɛ n'ani efira yɛhu deɛ ɔwɔ esum mu yɛhu deɛ n'aso esi yɛhu deɛ ɔyare ɛne yɛhu deɛ ɔyɛ holy a yɛasoma no enti akenkan ne bɛkyerɛ Isaiah chapter 42 verse 1 kan
wɔsi hwɛ makoa a mehyɛ ne mpamden no nie ɛyɛ
hwan thank you makoa a mehyɛ ne mpamden no nie
deɛ meyi no amekra eni sɔ no New Testament ɔmo de ma Jesus ɛyɛ Isaiah ho asɛm deɛ meyi no amekra eni sɔ no mede me honhom egu Isaiah so ɛwɔ Isaiah chapter 61 verse 1 kenkaneɛ kwase dɛ wɔsi ɔde atemmu bɛfiri akɔ amanama mu
Isaiah ɛde atemmu bɛfiri akɔ amamam
na ɔntie mu
Isaiah ni preaching no orintiam
na ɔma ne so
na Isaiah ɔma ne so
na ɔma wɔnten ne abɔnten so
Isaiah ɔma yɛntene ne wɔ mmɔnten so ɔse ɔrema ne so na orintiam verse we enye Jesus esa say Jesus by no ɔma ne so ɛna ɔyɛ den ɔtiam Mark chapter 12 verse 33 enye Jesus
Mark chapter 12
ɔse saa na koa no ɔma ne so na ɔntiam Jesus
Mark chapter 12 verse number 33
verse 33
Mark 12:33
15:33
Mark 15:33
Mark 15:33
wasi ɛdɔn ɛtɔ so nsia du yɛ no
ɛda yɛbɔ Jesus asɛnduam ɛdo ɛtɔ so nsia eduru yɛ no
esundu asase na so
esundu asase nyinaa so
ɛde kosi ɛdɔn ɛtɔ so nkron no
ɛde kosi ɛdɔn a ɛtɔ so nkron
na ɛdɔn ɛtɔ so nkron no
nti ɛbɔ 3 o'clock no
Yesu de ɛne kɛseɛ bom sɛ
Yesu de ɛne kɛseɛ tie mu ɔde ne kɛseɛ bɔ mu sɛ
Eli Eli
Elohi Elohi
lama
sabatani but akoa no wɔ Isaiah chapter 42 yɛsɛ ɔrema ne so no ɔnyɛ den ɔntiam John chapter 7 verse 37 Jesus yi preachi na wɔtie tie
John 7:37
John 7:37
wɔsna ɛde di akyire ɛyɛ afahye no da kɛseɛ no
ɛyɛ afahye no mu da kɛseɛ no
Yesu ɛsɔ gyina yɛ
Yesu ɛsɔ gyina
na ɔtie mu sɛ
na Jesus tie mu ɔtie mu sɛ
sesukɔm ɛde mia
sesukɔm di obi a
ɔmbra me nkyɛn bɛde mu nsuo
Jesus na ɛtie mu no Isaiah 42 bɔ hɔ biom na to aso
wɔsi ɔntie mu
makoa no ɔrentiem
na ɔma ne so
na ɔma ne so
na ɔma wɔten ne abɔnten so
ɔma yɛnte ne ɛwɔ mmɔnten so
na dɛmle ebuka no
to aso kan
wɔsi dɛmle ebuka no
emre a ebuka no
ɔmbumu
ɔrembum
na asawa emfi wisie no
asawa na efiri wisie no
ɔndum no na dokuram no bɛyɛ atam adie
na nokuram ɛna Isaiah bɛyi atam adi
na asɛm ano ɛnwo
na asɛm ano renwo
na ɔrempa aba
na Isaiah ɔrempa aba
ɛde bɛkɔ akɔyi sɛ
ɔbɛkɔ so aka nyame asɛm ade akɔsi sɛ
wɔde atam bɛten ne bɛsi asase soɔ
ɔde atam tenene ɛbɛtim asase so
na nsuo ano aman bɛtwɛ ne mmra
na nsuo ano aman ɛbɛtwɛn ne mmra
sɛ Awurade Nyankopɔn
sɛ to verse 9 sɛ Awurade Nyankopɔn
deɛ ɔbɔ ɔsoro ntuemu
deɛ ɔbɔ ɔsoro ntuemu
na ɔyere asase
na ɔyere asase
ɛne ne fifiri mu no
ɛne ne fifiri mu no
wɔde ahome ma ɛso nkurɔfoɔ
Onyankopɔn a ɔde home ma nipa ɛtete asase so
wɔde home ma wɔn a wɔnam so no esi ani
na wɔde home ma yɛn ɛte so no asɛm a Nyankopɔn sie ni
me Awurade
mafrɛ
wo tenee mu
mafrɛ wo Isaiah ɛwɔ tenee mu
na masɔ wo nsa
na wo Isaiah masɔ wo nsa
na makora wo
na Isaiah makora wo
na mede mayɛ ɔman apam
mede wo ayɛ ɔman apam
ne amanaman han sɛ
mede wo ayɛ amaman han sɛ
bie ɛni efira
nti wɔn na n'ani efira no bie Israel a n'ani efira
gye apɔnkyɛfoɔ firi fiase
gye apɔkyerɛfoɔ Israelfoɔ firi fiase
ɛne wɔn a ɔte sum efiri n'aduadan mu
ne Israelfoɔ na ɔmo te esum no efiri n'aduadan mu
wɔsi mi ni Awurade
meni Awurade
medi ɛnɛ no
medin no
na mefa mo animonyam ma obi
memfa m'animonyam ɛmmɔ bi
na mayi yie so
na me Nyankopɔn ayɛ yie so
memfa ma honi
Nyankopɔn mo Nyankopɔn se n'animonyam ɔmfa mmɔ obi ɛna mo asoa Nyankopɔn animonyam nyinaa ɛna mo de ama Jesus ɛna wura asɔɔdan mu a papa ne kora yɛ mmɔ ne din Yesu ni wayo wasma ayilele na papa ne te hɔ ade baako a ɛyɛ hu ɛwɔ Christianity ɛyɛ comparing Jesus to the Father Nyankopɔn ni size oni yere oni ba oni nua oni wɔfa Africa ne anim Nyankopɔn sa Bible ne ba na ne anim sɛ Nyankopɔn no ni ba obroni ba ya ɔsɛ Nyankopɔn wɔ Israel okay verse 9 okay verse 18 enti verse Isaiah chapter 42 verse 1 to 9 ɛyɛ Isaiah afei so obi ka kyerɛ sɛ Isaiah 42 ɛyɛ Jesus ya Catherine said, on kind verse 18. Kind of.
Verse number 18.
Verse 18.
Was Israel and Tiasie?
Israel and Tiasie.
Oh.
Once as I kasa. Israel nede
and Tiasie.
It says, "And why was them the kind of Israel?" It's Africa.
Was it a stiffo?
Or say, "O sutifo, obi anaswesi." Why anaswesi no? O sutifo Israel.
Muntie.
Mu say eyadom mo. O sutifo muntie.
Na enifrafo.
Why na enifra no? Na enifrafo.
Monhwe na mo hunu.
When ni efra. Why ni na efra?
Se makoa.
Akoa ben. Israel servant nation. When in Efra, et se makoa.
Na when na so esie.
When na so esi.
Se before amesuma no.
Et se Israel amesuma no.
Na when na Efra.
When na Efra.
Se de o masundua pam no.
Se Israel a o masundua pam.
When na Efra.
When in Efra.
Se Ewurade akoa no.
Se Ewurade akoa. Enti akoa na nani afra no. E ya Isaiah na Israel. O say dey very complex. Enye simple better sao. Fire Jesus.
Na ohuni mepi.
Na Israel we hunu ne mepi.
Nenso onhwe.
Nenso onhwe.
We bie na so.
Ye bie na so.
Nenso onti asem.
Nenso Israel nti asem.
Ewurade ti ne nti.
Ewurade ti ne nti.
Ena so ne ni se.
Ena so Nyankopɔn ni se.
Obema mra na ye kese.
Obema ne mra aye kese.
Na enyanimonyam.
Na enyanimonyam.
Nenso oyoman wo twa wonjo.
Nenso oye oman. Wenso adani nation. Oye oman a ye twa wonjo.
Afom afa.
Ya fum Israel afa.
Wo ma okaka intokuro mu.
Israel akoka tokrom. Ewo hefa. Babylon. Israel akoka tokrom.
Wo de mo hinta ni biadan mu.
Ye di Israel fo kogu prison.
Wo twa omojo out fo ni ho.
Ye titi Israel ogifo ni ho.
Na wo fom omafa.
Ya fum Israel afa.
Ade obeka se.
Ade obeka se.
Danima eni ho.
Fa Israel mame ebi ni ho.
Na mo hwan na be we ho aso.
Mo hwan e no be ya asem we aso.
Wo wen na so eti echire.
Na wo wen na so na wetie echire.
One of the Jacob ema dwotwa.
Why no di Israel ema dwotwa?
Na odi Israel ma fonfafo.
Why no di Israel ema Babylon fo?
Enye Ewurade aye ne bone no.
Enye Ewurade aye ne bone no.
One person na kwan mu no.
Na one person wonante Nyankopɔn kwan mu no.
Na wontie ne mra no.
Na wontie Nyankopɔn mra.
Yenti na ohwe ne bufuhie.
Enu ntire Nyankopɔn hwie ne bufuhie.
Ni akodi anu ye de egu ne so.
Eni akodi anu ɔden edigu Israel so.
Na oso ne ho jehia ye.
Nyankopɔn so Israel hu jehia ye.
Na so we hu no.
Na so nani efrenti no Israel we hu no.
Na ehye no.
Na eja ne hye no.
Na so wonfa nsie na kuma.
Na so Israel amfensie na kumem. Wọ́n say ye back gradual.
5 minutes.
Afei yenko Isaiah chapter 50 verse 1. Kind.
Isaiah 51.
Isaiah 50 verse 1. What? Come on, yesterday.
Was it say Ewurade asie ni?
Hey, next. Yahuda. Thank you. Jesus na yabo na sanu. Hwebe bi omu yi story ni free. Isaiah chapter 50 verse 1. Kind.
Was it Ewurade asie ni?
Said Ewurade sie ni.
Ehia na mo na kongoma abede kom mo na ewo.
Obi say Israel for say Israel. Mo ma me si me jai na wade a. Letter na me di jai na wade na wan. Nyankopɔn ɔse ne yere ni Israel. We kan Ezekiel chapter 16. Anameboa. Ezekiel 16. Nyankopɔn se ne yere ni Israel. Ento ɔse letter me di jai na wale na wahe.
Anase makafo mo hwan na betom ma no.
Anase makafo omo de meka no. Hwan na me Nyankopɔn ma ton Israel ama no.
Hwɛ mo emu yonti
Israel mo emu yonti
ɛna atɔn mo
ɛna yatɔn mo
na mo mra tonti na ɔkɔ mo na
ɛyɛ mo bɔne nti na megyae mo awadeɛ
na adan na mebaayɛ
adan na mebaayɛ Nyankopɔn sɛ ɔbaayɛ mepatɔ Nyankopɔn ɔnam hwan so ne baayɛ adan na menam Isaiah so baayɛ
na obi ani hɔ
na obi ani hɔ
mefrɛ yɛ
menam Isaiah so frɛ
na obi anye so
na obi anye so
na mensa enye tia sɛ ntimi ngie
mensa yɛ tia sɛ entumi nye
anasɛ tumi a mede bɛgye obi ani me mu
ana tumi a mede bɛgye mu Israel ebi ni me mu
hwɛ mede menka anim ɛma ɛpɔwe
Yahuda bra mede menka anim ɛma Nyankopɔn na ɛkasa no mede menka anim ɛma ɛpɔwe
mema esubɔnten dandan ɛso sunsuo
mema esubɔnten fesi mami mema esubɔnten ɛdane yɛsrɛ
nsuo eni hɔ nti
nsuo a eni hɔ nti
emu nam ɛpɔpɔe na sukɔm ekunkum wɔn
na esukɔm kunkum wɔn
mede tumi kata ɔsoro
me Nyankopɔn mede tumi kata soro
mede ituma ayɛ me nkata ho
na mede eyi tuma ayɛ me nkata ho
Onyankopɔn akwa no kuradie
Onyankopɔn akoa no ne no kuradie hwan ho asɛm na ɛbɛkenkan no hwan ho asɛm Isaiah afetua so
wɔsɛ Onyankopɔn ama me esuafoɔ tɛkyerɛma
Ewurade Nyankopɔn ama me esuafoɔ tɛkyerɛma hwan na ɛkasa no wama me Isaiah ntemfa sa Isaiah ni wama me esuafoɔ tɛkyerɛma
sɛ mo hu sɛ dɛm de asɛm bɛ wade wabrɛ
sɛ me hu sɛ dɛm de asɛm ɛbɛ wo hɔ de wabrɛ
onyane me da nɔpa
onyane me Isaiah da nɔpa
onyane masoma me
onyane me Isaiah maso esan sɛ na so nsi onyane masoma me
sɛ me fa me ntie sɛ esuafoɔ
sɛ me mfa ntie te sɛ esuafoɔ
Ewurade Nyankopɔn ebie maso
Ewurade Nyankopɔn ebie maso me Isaiah we bie maso
na me nso mantie atua ansan mechi
mantie atua ansan mechi
medane mechi ɛma akafoɔ
medane mechi ɛma akafoɔ medane mechi ɛma akafoɔ why na ɛkasa no
Isaiah
kan brɔfo no eni tie Isaiah na de ate Jesus from na mo hwɛ no the passion of Christ Isaiah amani hunu ele de ate movie a wo hwɛ say Jesus kana
Isaiah chapter 50 verse number 5
verse 5
was saying the Lord has given me understanding
and
I have not rebelled or turned away from him I bent my back to those who beat me
into Isaiah
I did not stop them when they insulted me
when
they pull out the hairs of my beard
Isaiah na bodge senwi no mo twetwe nti obi a ya twetwe na bodge senwi na atete nanim be yesen nanim be yetan twaso
they spat in my face,
they spat ya tuntosuo egu Isaiah so enom de ati Jesus from a omo se Yesu ye kobo na sendue no obi a wasole no petututu a won twetwe ne se Yesu anim prayer ya Isaiah kind of question
was it but their insult?
But their insult
cannot hurt me.
Because
the sovereign Lord gives me help.
The sovereign Lord gives me help. Wait, a prophecy and a prophecy. A prophecy and a prophecy. And Isaiah and the way Hunamane and the Bono. Yanko Isaiah chapter 51 verse 21.
Isaiah 51.
Israel and the near Frano. Yanko Pombe be Israel ni Kadia. And Israel ye bien near Afe Isaiah Obehuno and no message no obeti ase anontiase afi kanare
Isaiah 51:21
Isaiah 51 verse 21
entitie we imobroni why no ye mobroni no go back slide no go back why no ye mobroni no trust where was it imobroni
be black kai mame
was it entitie we imobroni wabo
nyankopon se Israel abo ebro ben na wabo Isaiah chapter 29 verse 9.
Isaiah 29:9.
Isaiah 29:9.
Was it monisu anyamo ya?
Enti Isaiah ka kire Israel for say monisu nyamo ya.
Na mo hu ndwiremo. Na mo keka mo nimfam so.
Na mo nka mo nimfam so.
Na mo nimfra.
Na Israel mo nimfra.
Mabopo.
Israel mo abopo.
Na so enyensa.
Watu
tontintan.
Mo abronsa to tontintan.
Na so efinsa de.
Na so enya protection. E den na abro no. We di bone am spiritually. Oh
hello. Ahana embre edin ebesi 50 minutes naso nti ebese na oda kasemono ama owura Amissah na on so 50 minutes for everybody and this where time will permit you.
Munyai kasa yakache se munyai.
Okay, I will permit you 2 minutes to wrap up.
Okay.
2 minutes to wrap up. Okay.
Why? Yeah, wrap it up. Why? Empathy of people like your first kind.
Was it entity way? Imobroni.
Wabo.
Nesu enyensa. Se ura. Ewurade nu Nyankopon. Na odima ne man esi eni.
Odima ne man Israel what's here ni?
Meje unsem ntinta to kruwa no.
Nyankopon se obeji kruwa no. Ensa na wanom no. Meji unsem ntinta to kruwa no.
Mebufuhye kruwa no.
Ebufuhye kruwa na media ma Israel na meji afini nsem.
Na onkoso enum bio.
Na Israel me ma wunum biom.
Na media ma hye wafo nsa.
Na omo hawo no media akɔhye Babylon fo nsa. Enti ensa no yaje ane yenye. Afei nani bedo ane na ho. Afei Isaiah chapter 52 verse 13.
Number 13.
Isaiah 53 yen starting 53. Yen starting 52 13. Na ya kan ni na kan yese den.
Wose Onyankopɔn kwa no ama ne hu no.
Onyankopɔn akwa no ama ne hu no.
Hwɛ. Makoa bedi ne nyansam.
Makoa obedi ne nyansam. Eye hwan? Isaiah. Twaswe.
Obesori.
Isaiah be sole
na wama no so
na yamane so
na wakron se
na Isaiah be kron se
de ne hu ye nipa pi ahotwire no
se de ne hu ye nipa pi ahotwire no
esan se nanim asɛe
nanim ayadan
asɛe
Bible say Isaiah nanim asɛe ɛden ne ye na nanim sɛ ye no ye tutu na bodwe se kenkane ba bam
na enti se nipa de
nanim asɛe enti se nipa de
ne nipa ba enti se nipa ma de bio nti
na ne body enti se nipa body biom adentia ya bona ma ne hu ina papa kan ye se den
sa na be ma amanaman pi aboprie
sa na me ma amanaman pi abopre
na yefo amamuamu ano wɔ ne ho
na ayemfo be muamu ano wa sa ya ho
ye bi se
efri se
ye won kan che wo no
de ye kan che Israel no
wo hunu
na
they want it down so
wate ase ja fa Israel te ase or be describe Isaiah chapter 53 verse 1
Onyankopɔn kwa ama ne hunu ne ma so
afei Isaiah ama ne hunu ne ma so
wasi hwana ochi ina sanka ne die
hwan ena waje yen asenka Isaiah de bae no hwan na age adi
na Ewurade wasa no
na Ewurade Nyankopɔn ne basa no
wanso na ade ama ne hunu
hwan so na ade ma ne hunu
na ofifiri se dufori onim
Isaiah fifiri se dufori wa Nyankopɔn nim
se asase pese mo hini
na Isaiah te se asase pese mo hini
oni ahofe
na
oni ni munyam
ede enti na oni ahofe ni munyam no ya bu na ma nanim nyina se na Isaiah ni ahofe ni munyam
na yehu no
pastors yehu no because abere na wewu ye hu no
na oni superman ho yen fe
na woni superman ho yen fe
wo bu nanim tia
Isaiah ye bu nanim tia na ye mu nanim tia ye bu nanim tia
na emalema epo
emema po no
ye nipa hu aye de
ye nipa hu na ye de
na onim yade
na woni mehade
wo bu nanim tia se
Israel fo bu nanim tia se
obi nipa yi mu ni hinta no
obi a wo hu na uyi we ni hinta no e de ntia na wabɔ nika to aso kan
ye mu ne hwe
ampa
yen yare wado
yen yare enya wo yale a malaria na waba Jesus wono bɔne yen yare wa no
wono e na wafa
Isaiah na wafa e de nti na Isaiah na fa yade no bɔne a Israel ye di nti wan na be hu na mane ye ti Isaiah hu na mane a e ma Israel ne ho ye den e to no ti ne ho to no si o man Israel ye gine yen yare no Isaiah na wafa
yen aye de so
yen aye de amane e wo sanka ye hu no so
wasoa
Isaiah ne ko so ai
yen de
ye
bunu se de wahwe no
ye bunu se de ya hwe no enti Isaiah ya hwe na ne ya hwe no ye bunu se de ya hwe no
de onyankopɔ aka na sha
de onyankopɔ aka na sha mane em
wono de
ono Isaiah de
ye mra to nti
yen bone Israel yen bone nti
e no plan no
eni ye plan no true or false
true
na je say Isaiah obeso mo bone koi ana he suffered for their redemption. He suffered for their redemption. And we just say we watch one. Can you remember?
Was he in a mum yonti?
Na ye mumu yonti.
And no chilano.
And ye jira Isaiah.
Ye na sumdwe waso twe dan so.
Israel for one sumdwe waso twe e koda Isaiah so.
Na ne man tan pia na de asan yade.
Isaiah kings na woji ye no. And ye de asan Israel yade.
Ye na won twede se nwan.
Israel for na won twede te se nwan.
Ye dada na fa ya kwan so.
Israel for dane fa ya kwan so.
Ewurade mam ye nemu yo kohwe ne so.
Ewurade ma Israel for nyina mumu yo e kohwe Isaiah so.
Wo hye na ho ya.
Isaiah ye hye na ho ya.
Na ono de obra na ho ase.
Isaiah ye kokono no obra ne ho ase.
Na wembie na no.
Isaiah ye de srada e pai ne mu wembie na no mpo.
Odwante odo nkwa okuno.
Isaiah ye kom te se wodwante a ye kokono.
Se odwante oto no twitwafo.
E te se wodwan a oto ne twitwafo ni mum no.
Na so wembie na no.
Na so wembie na no. Enso ko John chapter 9:18 verse 19. Jesus ye kokono ye den.
Okay,
wembie na no. To aso kan se den.
Wo de hodwane atemo eni ko.
Ye de ahodwane atemo yi Isaiah ko.
Ne breso for so.
Ne breso for past tense. Ne breso for so.
When otwe won se.
Why not Isaiah ho se?
Wo hwim ne fi atiasfasa so ko.
Ye hwim ne fi asase. O meka se hwim no eye enye ascension. Wonim Hebrew word de hye ho. Kan ye se den.
Wo se na me man mra to nti.
Verse 8. We do verse 8.
Yeah.
Kan ye.
Wo se me man mra to nti.
Obeka se ascension. We do hwa no de asset trap. Me man Israel mra to nti.
E na obo no.
Ene ye bo Isaiah.
Wo man dam na efra abonefo.
Ye man ne dam na efra adebonefo. Eno so ba be kotu. Enye Jesus yasem. Ye sie Isaiah ne adebonefo. Jesus nso ono nko na ye sie no. To aso kan.
Ene odifo die mu ni wo.
Ene odifo die woni wom.
Na so wendi abonefo sem.
Na so Isaiah ni abonefo sem.
Na inada enenu.
Na inada ni nanum.
Na eso awurade ni se odwere ne bone ade.
Eso awurade ni se odwere Isaiah e bone yade.
Se onye de ne kra to ye asodi afode.
Onya de ne kra to ye asodi afode a.
Obehu asefo.
Obehu asefo. Na se nipa no womma kan brofo no verse 10. Uwi ana kan tanaka no. Verse 10 ne kire se nipa no womma. Nipa ne ye kan ho asem womma. Isaiah owomma mienu. Ne baba ko eye Shari Yashav. Na ne baba ko so ye Mahal Shalal Hashbash. Wana yade yimanu enkom hye to ne so no. Isaiah womma tu.
The Lord says, it was my will that he should suffer.
He should suffer.
His death was a sacrifice.
His death was a sacrifice. Prophecy. And I say past tense.
Yeah.
To
bring forgiveness.
And so
he will see his descendant. Yeah.
Hebrew word ni Zira.
Yeah.
Nipa no owo ye ma.
Yeah.
Jesus u niba. Men kan chem say Christo for ye Jesus ma. Sraw.
Yeah.
Yesu wa ye obra. Kan.
Hello. My pastor time na so.
Okay. Ti e be siam se bre na so. Ti da mu na so.
Okay, yadase. Oye ura moshe. Sabre betu nsa frɛ ura imawo Amissah. Onso so den de betu aso. Nje pense mo insha na kwan na nto aso.
All right. Medase minia, say wa bo adwuma anwumre. We kire se obo aho na osiesie ho anwumre e be de pa. The topic I can ho asam ne say, who is the suffering servant in Isaiah chapter 53? Ne wo mu ne say we are going to analyze it contextually. So contextually, and the person you say, a chapter, and one some near. But we are saying in it's like, or ye be a friend, a book survey, or starting from verse 1 or deba. Now, there may pass a more beauty as you say. The point I will raising in a 0. It is already 100 points. 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 times 100. The answer is still 0. May I say? But you don't know what you are so they are my MBO. Yabasi Ebesiadie. One hour OTA. Anyone now watching online. Last week I started with a quote. At this time too, I want to begin with a quote. There is something missing in every man's life, and everyone is aware. But as to that particular thing that is missing, we don't know why. But we have appreciated that there is something missing in our life. In an attempt to solve that problem, people resort to diverse means of solving that problem. Bribi ayira woni pe bia brabom. Sanya wutie biara bibi ayira wa brabom. Senya bribi ayira wa brabom anka na nwumre ma metena ha. Senya bribi ayira wa brabom a enka wo nko school se okosua de. Senya bribi ayira wa brabom anka when you have problem you no look for solution. Obadi aseda en wa ma bribi ayira woni pa brabom. And adi ebetumi asolve that problem, it will take him himself. A lot of people will resort to drinking. A lot of people resort to humanizing. A lot of people resort to following books and other things. But that will not solve the problem. And here is the conclusion. Until you and I see ourselves as God sees us and begin to act accordingly, we will continue to battle with destiny. The prophet of God, Apostle Doctor, Daddy, I salute you. Young Papa no more software. And Penifua Waha, Prof, I salute you, sir. Obio heavy and Yami on Shrine. But I see a new son you may say Isaiah chapter 53. A wine and ye can wasem. I think, sir, what do why justice power? Why are na Medanasi? Name of the Empress will be a shetty as he said. Odikai said the topic and I said the chapter is very complex. Well, I appreciate it. That is very good. 2, was that chapter no a very difficult. It is on one kasakra on Tiasie. It once I want make it a point no. No, it is worth knowing. That is why I made my own. 2, I didn't pass a meditate to be able to say. So we know be a DNS and Nippon is smarter or than the LBBM. Son said, while the ceremony and church to be the best thief, you need the mind of a thief. His own words. What should I say? And son, I bet me the best and the perfect liar. No, you accept the truth and create a diversion. 81. Obenya no krebi ejina so no we created diversion. Last week, remember the criteria for measuring our debate. The criteria still remain: hard facts, dangerous half truth, and total nonsense. Hard facts ni say why na di no kware ama text na ye kan ho asem no. Dangerous half truth ni say why na nya nyina so bi wo choro kronkron mu na wodi afa the kwan bi a eni say fa so. Total nonsense ni say ye ka topic ni ho asem no ni e quote from other sources which has no bearing with the subject. Etimra ye suade I want to employ you on a journey of a serious, consistent biblical analysis of the text. Therefore, I implore you to put on your thinking cap as we proceed. Nansa na obetumi ati dia me pesa me kirase no. Me ma format and answer order me follow. Order edi kan ni say I will give you a little background to this text. 2, I will give you a background to the book of Isaiah. Because Okasano were denied categorically say based on Isaiah chapter 1 verse 1, a Isaiah and a Troy, which is false. by all standard, contextually, historically, and appealing to all sources. That is fourth. And I wish that he will help us, either in context or appealing to authoritative source, why Isaiah is not the author. One amazing thing they say, 1947, something happening in the history of humanity. A bunch of manuscripts were discovered, and among all those manuscripts that were discovered, one was by name Isaiah Scrolls. The person beside said, "What Isaiah Scrolls da? Enimdia bay and wawa ho." Near me pass yet I say what have you say. Bible I can was me. It was not written in Chi, nor Ga, or Mamprisi. Rather, we need to appeal to the original source. And he has demonstrated his knowledge in the Hebrew language by telling me, say, the Zerah, it means, say, a descendant or offspring. Fantastic. The lexical definition for that word. But before we continue, we call Arabic as Arabic, Hebrew. There were two words denoting sons or children. There were one called Ibn, and there were one called Walid. So Arab unika say Ibina, or Pachra say there is a biological connotation between the person being described. Eti Arab kasam je kase Ibina, eti Homa say e nipa no ono na wo no mba ne be ma ena. So wakase Walida, obi wa hanu a Muslim, was Arabica. Walid Isabili, Obetra say a son of the road. Who translate it by English man? It is a son of the roader. Per his relationship with the road for an appreciable time, the person is described as such. I am the son of Ghana. To say I am the son of Ghana does not mean say Ghana and no baby the Shia woman. It's Arabic no. Yaba Hebrew kasamua. There were two words. There were the Zerah and there were the Bin. It once I was studying, he will help me. According to a lexical definition, the Zerah also connotes a relational or a legal relation of the person and his descendant. It is yaba emra kwansua. Papa way able to me adopt me legally. Na mabeye ne ba. It ya no na usua Hebrew kasa yebe to Zerah. But here you so Bin emana and no chira say e nipa no and e wo no. It here is my challenge, and I think sir yebe to me atwaso. 81, me say makers have a background. 2, makers have a terminologies. 80 term no baako and a maka ho asem no. 80 offspring ye besa ba so biem. Owie so ka bibi ba. Say Yesu want yetiam, and also we will put it in perspective and in context. Apart from the text, I will prove beyond reasonable doubt tonight that Isaiah chapter 53, first and foremost, is messianic prophecy. 2, I will prove tonight that Isaiah chapter 53, the best candidate to fulfill that is Jesus Christ, no other person. Now, mesuma fidie bi, eya da ya fidie ni yebetom, eti New Testament ni yeba appeal to ho, yeba ko ho. Who is the sovereign servant described in Isaiah chapter 53? Oh, make one statement. I agree with him perfect, and it is consistent with history. Ubetumiati Isaiah chapter 53 as a pa. Also read free Isaiah chapter 52 verse 13 through to Isaiah chapter 53 verse 12. I think that is superb, and I give him credit for that. And also can say Isaiah chapter 53 very difficult. I didn't think difficult. That concept of difficulty of Isaiah chapter 53 started in the 14th century. And say we don't call scholars. Now say we call two scholar. That's also a researcher. I was here 16 good years. Ebani say and was here. Ye misane mami. 2. Say was here Bible no. That's a Bible ne kwa na ye no authority. Bible ni antron wo twi kasam. Now with the greatest respect. Me pesa wo fa Bible na wo biem. Ade ba ko ama observing anwumre. Pa wa ha ne say ye nuane kenkan a eduru heading na people like boy heading this open. No one making emphasis on the heading, but the heading is not in the manuscript. The heading is not in the Bible. And translators and the man heading. But yeah, who power ha? My identifying say Hebrew was paraphrasing. And I am challenging you. Also for our kind, means me who the same thing. And walking kind of because so mummy and Naya at the end of Fiati or through baby our jampo, baby our car say, we're 50. What kind of Bible know you're 50? We will go to the text and not open it up. Not start from Genesis, Isaiah chapter 1 to create confusion in the house. But with the greatest respect, this topic is exegesis. See, I can say exegesis from the Greek word exegesis. It means the interpretation must emanate from the text we are discussing. And I did not see him do a proper contextual analysis. Therefore, I want to bring him on course for us to discuss it. Mercy, 14th century. And a difficulty I can once a year by. Now, me say, obey Jew for the Jew no ekatreno. Usia Jew for one bakwasemwa. We have two types of Jews. We have the Sephardic Jews and the Ashkenazite Jews. All right, medasi. Within the 13th century, the Ashkenazite Jews, who said this particular chapter is posing a lot of threat to them. It omu yifri omu Bible, but the Sephardic Jews for na omu gusua yusu. And on as a traditional cause and Jew for crying ye omu ahorobe and nine. But a big kinkai, a bin so kinkai. Those who are Messianic Jews, omu kaisa chapter way. But send your kai and you correct. Those who are Orthodox and as Hasidic Jews, it drew sa weekly study na omu drew Isaiah chapter 43 pe na omu escaping. But 1947, Emra Desi scroll ni baye no omu hu Isaiah scroll no a whole and a certain confusion in more. E finu dudu na yes sade na yen fanka ho na emum yen skipping. It was awful. Me ba cho kind from 52 coming no emame.
Isaiah chapter 52 verse.
But ansana over to us no. Terms no ibid no. Usia the book of Isaiah now. It is in categories. And one funny and one interesting thing about the book of Isaiah is it carries 66 books. The whole Revelation all together. It is a who study Isaiah chapter 1 to chapter 6. It was different theology altogether. From chapter 6 it was different theology. Up to 39, but through chapter 40, a new level and as a new theology prayer. It is a massive book survey, like I would have helped my brother and schooled him to know what he considered to be very complex. 81, from chapter 43, chapter 53, the word Zerah, 17, it appears 17 times in now. Zerah now, what can one say? Now 17 times, it refer to Israel as a nation. Specifically, who can Isaiah chapter 45 verse 4, Isaiah chapter 48 verse 12, Isaiah chapter 42 verse 19, Isaiah chapter 43 verse 10. Contextually, by definition, it identifies the nation of Israel as a servant. And now onya my servant Jacob, and now my servant Israel. It be our use servant be an ochrem. But who came from 49 no eba? Baby a servant no ewono. Ebi ohwa eye open. Ebi so ohwa it is limited to an individual. But on person yebekwa semunti. And oka say o hia scholars. But me person me bi so obi a wa ha say. Book ya ye kan wa say mi eye hefo dia. Eye jiwfo dia. 2. Last week menini debate no. Oka kira me say he is representing the Jewish interpretation. Adentina Nadia, one representing Jewish interpretation. That is the inconsistency on his part. And I have a bunch of Jewish sources here. And I'm ready to battle with him, sir. There is nowhere in the Midrashi, the Talmud, or any Jewish literature that identify Isaiah as the servant. And that is totally false. It's young context, so can context in the moment.
Isaiah chapter 52 verse 1. Zion nyane hye wo ho den Jerusalem kronkron hye wani monyamata na mutuni ni de ne ho ente bia enkoso enhya no mu bieu Jerusalem propre wo ho enfuturo egu sore etena ase Zion baba wa fa wo no mum sane komu enche homa na sa erode sie die wantomo anye hwe na enye sika ena wode bajemo na sa erode nyankopon eka nie meman esan eko Misrim
Right from 13.
Verse number 13. Hwɛ makoa abedi no nyansam.
Makua ebedi no nyansam. Eha no oka say original language ebehia. Pa eti zero no eyisu aha. Na minum ye no nyina ate ase say English words don't have meaning unless they are used in sentences. It was a makua ebedi no nyansam. Behold, my servant shall deal prudently. And at the next pronoun you see he. Or say he shall be extolled, exalted, and very high. I recommend, sir, Obiabe read the work of Dr. Walter Kaiser Jr. on this particular way in the commentary of the Old Testament. Very profound. But my focus is to prove that this text is messianic. To assume
Isaiah 52 verse 13. Hwɛ makoa abedi no nyansam. Na ɔbɛ sɔre na wo ma no so. Na wa kron sɛ.
Ɔbɛ sɔre. It could be seen say past tense. No so. But the hand was that ɔbɛ sɔre. Every day more, you better him or best sorry. And two, I still challenge him. We are doing a professional and academic debate. In a professional and academic debate, there is something we call register. So as a register, every field of knowledge and the term and its meaning. It is here theology. No one quote from Dictionary of Theology. Now quote from Oxford. I think that is a flaw on his part. Last week, me defined prophecy to mean foretelling and forthtelling. And I get from the Bible, and apart from that, I quote Collins' Dictionary of the Old Testament Theology. It will quote authorities. It is a who hear scholarship. Now who hear authorities there. And now, my brother, I don't think you should call yourself a scholar. It gives me a better definition from a better source. Because Oxford Dictionary is a Western product. The Western way of looking at things is different from the Eastern way of looking at things. The Western right from left to right. The Eastern right from right to left. There are a lot of things we can learn through this. And all these things are on records. I want everybody to take it up and begin to do your research. I am here to tickle your imagination. I am here to provoke you to begin to search for the truth. Now, don't sit there for anybody to interpret the scripture for you. And so Avraham interpret the scripture read the scripture. You consult appropriate sources to know the truth.
Isaiah 52 verse number 14. Sadia ne ho eye nipa pi ahodwire no. Esan sa nanim aseye na enti se onipa de. Na ne nipa ban enti se enipa ema de ebionti.
What say text way Isaiah there. I want him to prove historically or contextually where Isaiah was disfigured this way. History tells us, and I agree with him, that Isaiah was sown asunder. To be sown asunder, simply say the machine apart and no crown and what back was some and say no time to a Johnny Coshe Diabim, Tidiana Coshe Muno, and what did Mama see try it and fry. It are no be beyond ya bono ya teteno ewa enimunina eto obechire ho emiate ase to aso.
Isaiah 52 verse number 15. Sanso anoboma amanama pi abobo empre.
Obema amanama nyina abobo den empre. Etini ewo mu ne se ya Isaiah dia every bay mu and Isaiah so ba sanfa so ne ma amanama nyina. Remember, Isaiah was a prophet called specifically to the nation of Israel, not any other nations. To aso
wasana ahemfo emumu awona no
ahemfo emumu awona no
ewone ho
so ne o cha ne se ahemfo ahoro nyina emumu awano o se yehu ye bra etimi kire yen se ya Isaiah dia every mu na ahemfo nyina emumu awona no e wa Isaiah nim. But one good thing I know and I understand and I appreciate and I live for that conviction is that at the mention of the name Jesus, every knee shall bow and every tongue shall confess that he is the resurrected Lord. Ya to aso
no efiri se de won ka enche no wo hunu na de won te da no so wo te ase.
Okay, it was say kan ho ni biam tim
efiri se de won ka enche no
de won kan kire won no
wo hunu na de won te dan so
wo te ase
wo te ase
eti ha so me bra be boa me se say Isaiah dia everybody na manama nyina de wo huru na wonte da na what asie I including on my Ghana ye nana ochehine ya ka say Jesus Christ is the King of Kings. Okasa Isaiah dia ene na ka dia ye bra yi kan it makes sense. Yafi ya kwa Isaiah chapter 53 yanto aso
Isaiah 53 verse 1 why no waji yasen kanadi
why ena waji ya na sam kanu edi. That statement is very, very important. Isaiah is inclusive of the subject we are discussing. Now, some campaign and what can want some. Brofocus and what can report. Brofocus can report. The Hebrew nika say Shamau. The kasa Shamau the otreni say ni aya tura to ho. Na ye nyina ye jiadi. Ni ye di e ho atoso na ye hwe kwan no. Hwan energy di ye. In their messianic concept, no, they have expectation of a Messiah who will come and deliver them from their oppression. It why not just as some pay Eddie to us?
Was na one what you sank Eddie? Na Eradi Basano. Why so and other di Amado?
Eradi Basano, why so and other di Manahu? I didn't know Wakasa. Eradini Israel wa Pam. As Pama on the one, who call Leviticus chapter 26, who call Deuteronomy chapter 28, now Pamuno a sample, near woman say, or my Israel, a da Mubaya Suti Amamiasa Ferradeno, may Mishra Ebebamuso, Nasamoya offense, Samoya Swaditi Amia Radia, may you mo Ashamwatan Fonsa, Nawatan for Besamo, it Imra what our scripture way, it is 712 BC. Emra ye cho sa same way e 712 BC. That time no na Babylon for aba be share Israel for so asay won asori dan we di won so awie e ma Syria for. So this time round no it was Assyrians who were following and say suppressing the Israel. It no o kire won sem Erade basa da fide mo hu ana say Samuel kan ye say mo ye sutie mamia me Erade majimo fu matamfo nsem to aso
na o fi se do fro nanim asa asase pese mu ehini
na asem we last year play wo ho a owie ye no accept the Christian concept and ankrofo atwa ediwo Facebook say we know the truth we don't want to share. That is wrong. Obi biara otasa video net I think you have evil ideology or say asama okan ye ne say me mfa ne say me yo Christoni Imagine the second coming atum. Isaiah chapter 11. Is it messianic or not messianic? And I make say yes, it is messianic because as a matter of fact, throughout the Bible, every Jesus can be found on every page, depending on the eye you are looking at it with. It's a word that will use to Isaiah chapter 11. Nasa, the Hebrew word for branch. Nasa. It has to the same word and was also a use to or free said to fro. So here in Isaiah chapter 11, they are all messianic prophecies to us.
As a person in Oni ahofɛ ɛna oni animonyam na yehuru no no na oni suban bia bɛma ne ho ayɛ yɛfɛ na obu no nim tia na ɛmɛma pro no na ɔyɛ odi pa ohunu ayade na onim yade na obu no nim tia ɛsɛ wo bia
nyabotre onim yare no yɛbra ne du ha no o play on that word. It is very good sir may explain the term wa ha ansana yato aso. The Hebrew word for onim yare ɛno ɛyɛ mako hehel. It means that to made to suffer. Makob hehel. It means that to made to suffer. And yes, onim yare. And nunti na metre mencheche na be no. Metre will say the best candidate to qualify for this phrase is no other person than Jesus Christ. Because onuna ofa yen yarewa ofa yen amani eswaye and nunti and our qualify Isaiah answer nipa yare ewo babia na ha no oya application it is not true. I want him to prove it from the verse. Tell me the Hebrew word Hebrew word because of here knowledge of Hebrew will work. It is Isaiah answer obia yare to also
was na obuno nim tia
the part of Sasha on that kind verse we mama Proverbs chapter 18.
Proverbs chapter 18. Proverbs chapter 18 verse number 1 or
Proverbs chapter 18 verse 17.
18 verse 17. What na dia oboni kro kan na no say
Send your ID carbon in Kuradi away and some man. A yen said,
Otini,
a yen so your training, you want I cannot correct.
Ekusi said,
Equasi said,
Neyankoba Pipimu,
Obi Baba Pipimu, who can Greek, Hebrew, offense, and New English now. Was it someone who come to cross examine him? So here we are. It was born in Krokane, a yen so I can, where we because me say so said Nadia, bubu mi pa, bubu mi near to us. King Kanye Mabem. Anyway, me quote too. I am acknowledging him because King Kanye Mabem is uniquely Avraham Ben Moshe. That's a scholarship. So we used to be idea, acknowledge him. We're acknowledging our plagiarism. To us,
Isaiah 53.
by the way, my main Kano, but I still me references in Sanka. You do share me what's happening. It's Sanka. Young to us.
Isaiah 53, verse number 2 going. What's the officer to phone him?
Oh, if he said the throne and
As the person we hini. Only I will find one year. Now you won't know. Now what is the baby man why and fair? Now we put him tia. Now Mama Pono. Now we really put whom I had there. Not only me a dear. Now we put him tia. As will be any part anyone in Tano. Okay. Now you're Monishe.
So on was to make Fidia Kama. Now, Mr. Ready Still, this thing is talking about Jesus. When we go to the New Testament, Jesus
Isaiah 53 verse 4. Ampa yanyare wano. Ono wafa. Na ye ade nso. Wasuwa. Na yendie. Yebunu se de wahwe no. Isaiah. Na de Onyankopon aka no de na se amane mu. Ono de yamra 20 ene opira no. Na emu ye enti ene wodwere no. Na ya so dwe hu asotwe ada ne so.
Question and person me bisa yambra yi wa ha ne say, is it a concept in Judaism or in the Old Testament say Isaiah beswa obi bone anase be pra obi for Isaiah 2 eya no akọ to Ezekiel chapter 18 eja enso enna bone ena nanso so eja bone very good. When we are talking about Christian concept there, or you fast, no according to start scripture, no, he should demonstrate to me, say, is it categorically stated in the Bible, say, Isaiah ever swore on mine bonnet, na Hebrew word by, and will use you a for bonnet, yeah, train.
Na ne man tampie e na wode asan ya de.
Ne man tampie na wode asan ya re.
Na yen nyina wo ntwetwede.
Na yen nyina wo ntwetwede.
Ese nwan. Na randa ne e fa yen kwan so. Na Awurade emma yen nyina emumuye ekohwe ne so.
Na Awurade ma yen nyina emumuye ekohwe ne so.
Na wo hye na hoye ana ono de. Wo ba ne ho ase. Na wo mu na no. Ese egwama wode no e kwa koku no.
The sin is still about Jesus Christ. But answer the better as my more quotation back on New Testament. Never confirm it. With the sum that fidie minimum so beba ho yan to aso silence without way yanko. Matthew chapter 26 verse 62 through 63. Ni anhwe say every pay mu na Yesu mu anano a wan kasa. Matthew ye beba ho ni bie mu. Matthew 26
Matthew chapter 26
62 to 63.
Matthew 26 verse number 62. Verse 62 was na osopanyin no esore eka kire no se
emra ye tra Yesu osore fopanyin no esore ka kire ne se
wo mo bi na de ho ana yenum edi adanse etia wo yi
ye bisa de ho ne edi adanse etia wo yi
na Yesu
ye fan ye de Elijah Isaiah kojina ya ye bisa ne se obi on kasa wantumi ankasa he to aso
na Yesu emu ana no
na Yesu ye de
wo mu ana no
me pa cho ye fa ba kon kan Peter nso di sa adanse ebi 1 Peter chapter 2 verse 23 Yesu ye de omu ana
no 1 Peter chapter 2
say who sia Bible or say who study no in context. And yes, I was sorry, no akotu ha. With the greatest respect, Obia bet me akotu Bible nibi to support anything. Where ye be a friend context analysis. So logically and contextually, Isaiah cannot be the candidate.
1 Peter chapter 2 verse number 23. Warana waya no na wanye bie na ohunu amane.
Peter na edi sa dan se waya no wanye den.
Wanye bi.
Oye de biem.
Na ohunu amane. Na wahuna. Na what is said obu atente no nsa.
What is said obu atente ne nsa. Matthew chapter 27 verse 12 to 14 ubenya ho. Luke chapter 23 verse 9 ubenya ho. Yanko back to the text. Jesus Christ is the best candidate. This text is a messianic. Now, or just scholarship. Now, said the Beya Obe Husanyan Tro and a Mikanti. Miria, Yabako Tamundum, Yabako Midrashinim, Yabahu the commentators, the Oma Kafahu. I am not going to quote a single Christian author. Yan first Christians, Ebaya bias, Yan read the Jew for no Ebeka. Twaso?
Isaiah 53 verse number 7. Now what's your name? Now one of the we're burning once.
Or brand once.
Now we're winning no.
Okaya. Everyone buy your battery no Peter train second. Or brand once. I said no. My kingdom is not of this world. Like I would have called people to come to my aid. Or brand once. Obedient even to the point of death. Twaso?
Was no brand once. As we can see, what all Nini to for any mumu.
Good.
No, so. When no.
Peter did one dance here. Matthew did one dance here.
No,
Luke did one dance here. Mark did one dance here. Our dance the Ebra.
Now the whole journey atemu e no koi. Ade na ne beto fo nso. Kwan ano
any atemu. Atemu ben any ade Isaiah ekogina ano. Say Isaiah dia momi enhwe no on kire yen. Yen nyina yesua de ewiase afa na nyina ahwe yen. Atemu ben and Isaiah ekogina yebra na kire yen. These are the questions I'm leaving for him. Twaso.
Verse 8 no the whole journey atemu e no koi. Ne beto fo nso wan na wo tene ho. Esa wo ahwim no afiri achazefo atazokro. Na memman emra 20 na wo bo no.
What's it then?
Na memman emra 20 na wo bo no.
Twaso.
Na wo ma ne damna efra abonefo ene adefo de.
Wojufo ade yomu say na tie. Say obi wu animguasi wu anasa de boyefo wu a. Ye de ne kofra ade boyefo. Jufo amamre ne wona de yomu saa na tie. Na Kristo de sentia osikani na fa no ne say. Emra mu ye ni say nyina wie no hwe ne esi ya no. O se da bi, o se me fa sa ni pai na me de to me amada muamu. 81 he was crucified in the midst of wicked men. Twaso.
Isaiah 53 verse number 9 going. Na wamanda mna efra abonefo ene adefo de mu. Na e woni wo mu. Na so
adefo de mu e na okoda ye.
Sa.
The crucifixion was in the midst of wicked people, but his burial was in the tomb of a rich man. Was it when And this is my challenge to my brother Avraham ben Moshe and the common sense family for the whole world to see. He should give me a single record. That is the violent. Christ was violent. The Hebrew word used here for the violent, the lexical definition for violent. Enemy challenge was in a one near Bonifosam. Na enada eninanum. Verse 10 na eso Awurade ni se wodwere no born yade. Eso Awurade ni se wodwere no born yare. Se wonya de kra eto wo asodi afode a. Tie, se wonya de kra to wo asodi afore a. Wo se ya Isaiah. So Onyankopon ni Isaiah nya pam ka kire ne se fa wo kra kwato wo asodi afore a na. Ana bio, me pese me masafo ne o man common sense obi ati ase se in the Jewish concept, no, is it there, say, or nipa to me the nekra to her, eya for the body ana. Also, even and Yom Kippur, and as a day of atonement, those who still adhere to the strict Orthodox Judaism, when the day of Yom Kippur, they do not sacrifice human beings. It is categorically stated only in this verse that the Messiah who will come to share his blood to save the whole world. And now Isaiah also was it now obehunu na se onya ne kra to wo asudi afode a se onya ade ne kra to ho enya asudi afore a me will quote bi wa ha from a Jewish rabbi my yentie ne commentary asema okan efa away hu Patel
Coffee Radio, the all-around radio station.
And used by Dr. Michael Brown in his volume 2 of Answering Jewish Objections to Jesus, page 22. Yes, dear. It is a scholarship. Where been Amissah Feminian Jose. So also I research 16 years. Otumra on Chelsea. Dear Patel Ekai. Despised and afflicted with unhealing wounds. He He sits in the gate of great Rome and wins and unwins. The bandage of his fostering source as a midrash, one midrash expression, Sunye, pains have adopted him. See, a case of pains have adopted him, and yes, I will know and they go through. So we study the Greek word for crucifixion, and when you know the English word excruciating. See, a case of excruciating, it means that the person is not suffering pain; he is in pain. It won't mean describe. We say everything about him is pain. That is what he's saying. He is what? Adopted.
Isaiah 53 verse 10. What's not as already said or John Bonnie idea. Now so get the creator Yasudia for the year.
Or not the creator Yasudia for ya. Isaiah Hefa and Hefa, me brand in church.
Obehu asefo.
Obehu asefo.
Nina be
I have a good news for you. Nia Yeshua HaMashiach. Jesus Christos. Yesu Christo. Onyankopon bakrono. Emra onyade ne kra eto ho no. Emfasudia onya ye ne se. Enne menso me wakukudro metumika se meye onyankopon ba. According to John chapter 1 verse 12 and 13. For as many as believe for them
one want to me say it
was in the Onyabo for any weir, not for bed.
That's Obanya Asafo, then I be worried.
That's for when you use Zera, no, and I make sure and say the Zera connotes a relational title, not a biological. If we are to be a biological, he would have used being. It once a yes, Zera, no, it's relationship, and now I am connected to Jesus.
Now the Eso already afan and Sasso aye.
Now the so ready if Sasso aye day.
Now the Eso already any afan and Sasso aye. Verse 11. Was na obehu nekra ebremu ade amen.
Obehu nekra ebremu ade amen. Here is another challenge to my learned colleague here. Every pay mu na Isaiah tena ase na wo hu nekra ebremu ade amen. Oh yes, smart pa. Emra ya kinka ha baby no. Oduro se wa wu momu de nanso den. Was you obehu ne kra ebremu ade ayedan.
Amen.
Eti Isaiah wai. Be ba Isaiah wai.
Wow.
Ehe fa no wote a wa hu ne kra brade mu amen.
O sha asase ase.
Ye nto aso ai. Ebe ye de wa ha. We mean business and we are serious.
Into aso. Was na lehunu mu e na makoa tene no ebenya tene amani papi.
Jesus. Kan biem.
Was it? Na lehunu mu e na makoa tene no ebenya tene amani papi.
Ba cho kan biem.
Na lehunu mu e na makoa tene no benya tene amani papi.
It's a question of see ebisa Avraham ben Moshe say. Isaiah wona he was son ascend ayapai no. 3 ni pi ade ba ya we. And Israel for way, Isaiah won so train in a way. But one thing I know hardcore criminals, when they accepted Jesus Christ, their life has been changed. And I am not on crusade ground to give testimony, but I have seen what life has to offer. All that life has to offer, I have seen some. Metukwai, Mabobra. Maya bi pen nanso emra me hu sa bere men ne treni ni bi awura me mu na ade Avraham ben Moshe eyenie eduru baby he don't judge a system of belief by its logical conclusion, but he judge a system of belief by its abuse. It is so who so Christo ni bi abrabo ense emfata Christo no wagina so e de tag Christo for me pese me ka kire o say near Christo etumi ye and we still have people whose lives have been influenced by Christ. Ebaya me de pass Christo imagine adinti metumi akaseti ampanifo betumi awomi. Ebaya me de pass Christo awawomi metumi akasa akabusu sembebre. Christo awawomi nti enne me de nidie ema de nidie eseno.
Isaiah 53 verse 11. Na obehu ne kra mu bre. Amen.
Amen. I have a question. Or may answer. Hefa and Isaiah. Ehu ne kra mu bre. Amen. And my Savior, according to Hebrews chapter 7, he is seated at the right hand of the Father, interceding for me. I feel like preaching, but I'm not on a preaching platform because Avraham ben Moshe said, in the presence of Avraham ben Moshe, every pastor will tend to become a preacher. I refuse to preach in his presence. I am here to educate you. I am here to knock you off your comfort zone of ignorance. Yes,
Isaiah chapter 53 verse number 11. Was in the name ɛna makoa tene no benya tene ama nipa pii na ɔno a na wafa amuyɔ no anso asoa
wɔno a na afa mumuye na den
asoa verse 12
tie sadwen na anya adwuma
body ne brɛ
etimenti asie sɛ Isaiah enti ase nanso obi etumi ka sɛ Isaiah and the context of this scripture. It is agreeing na judgment body na den. It is Isaiah way. Isaiah te ha and wo hunu ye so mfaso de a and na Isaiah kuma be den. It is Isaiah ne suma ne koma Israel dia. I will consider it contextually say Isaiah's mission is a failed mission.
Isaiah 53 verse 12. Na senti meta adehu ama no nipa bebremu. Na one ahoɔdenfo akyɛ asadeɛ efiri sɛ ɔde ne kra to hɔ ɛma owuo
efiri sɛ dɛn
ɔde ne kra to hɔ ma owuo
Isaiah ɛha so mi bisa ne question sɛ ɛhe fa na Isaiah willingly ɔde ne kra ɛkɔto hɔ ɛma owuo ɛha so ɔmara ɛmɛkyerɛ yɛn ehia paa ɛnyɛ si ɛkɔto scriptures ni biribiri nkurɔfoɔ ani so no we can equally quote any scripture to support anything we want to do. What we are doing is say Isaiah chapter 53. Who is the suffering servant? When you can want them, that idea where I am wa hey, ye the Isaiah Shemwa ebewuragu, ye the Jeremiah Shemwa ebewuragu, ye the Obia Shemwa ebewuragu. Mami chira ode wa ha. Internet o so na one na internet asa. Also reading scholarship books. Now study in here. We call internet theories. You can say theories nipa bi adwin po anaso omunsusu ya efa biribi ho. Anything no fear say no can say it is complex. We call internet so how many of them are here? Bubodi no 15 and we pick back up and we dey ba beche say Isaiah and we pick quotation media support to know be consistent. First one here die Isaiah. It who one na no san ye. Mami cho baby awewo woko me ma site ni yapo ahume to aso
number 1 Isaiah
there doesn't be any day
Uzziah
there doesn't be any day
Hezekiah
there doesn't be any day
Josiah Jeremiah Ezekiah Job Moses
can support to say Jeremiah who is known as a wailing prophet would rather even qualify here. Jeremiah soon Jeremiah do baby because Radimi for Kawasam or no ground qualify. Maybe I think say you need to revise your notes. Yes, we need to revise our notes. Can you quotation near to us?
Isaiah chapter 53, verse number 12 na Hanawi, you know. Was it? Na wabunu etia emratofo enso ono ene waso nipa bebre bone
wono no wa dai
waso nipa bebre bone
waso nipa bebre bone wo kind in original context na nipa bebre wa ha no it does not mean only Israel
Debbie
wo kind was Septuagint ni mu a where do you see the pontata ethne ni gina homa nations so that's a nation of people of all languages, people of different tribes. Eti hano enya Isaiah who asem ni eka because Isaiah so man for so man Ghana for Isaiah so man for so man Togo for even China Isaiah so man for so eti haso my brother the knowledge of the Hebrew language will work here. Isaiah cannot fit into this context. The best candidate is Jesus Christ.
Hallelujah, no. Na wadi ama emratofo. Wadi ama emratofo. Wadi ama emratofo.
Efa na Isaiah edima emratofo. Ba mi ni mu hwe kura no. New Testament minim se. Bere me bi tie jani sani faso a. Esa ya fori a obo yenti. Oridima mi no bi enu anopa awia na anajo. Wo ka John a Oye Yesu ni 1 John chapter 2 verse 1 no can say me wo
1 John chapter 2 First John chapter 2, verse number 1. Was it? Memakuma. Me try ma bremo. Na mo anya bone. Na so be a bone a. Ya otijinafo bi e wo gya nten. When otini Yesu Kristo. Ya wo otijinafo bi e wo egya nten. One ne otini Yesu Kristo. Ono ne otini Yesu Kristo. Ono ne otini Yesu Kristo.
Abraham ben Moshe.
Eye Yesu Kristo de ha.
I'm coming to liberate my people. Mebra asemunye. Osi ye hwan.
Yesu Kristo.
I am enlightening my people. There be people like.
Yesu Kristo.
There be Yahuda.
Bible is Yesu Kristo.
Why do you watch it for?
Yesu Kristo na kasa.
Let's get serious, Ghanaians. Let's get serious as Christians. Let's get serious as common sense family. And if rather you free you need to futrogu you ados.
It's too much.
Please, let's be honest to the text. And your daily graphic. And your funny akikesi anisa. And your tele juma. And your fansa sawa dia pamu to maybe answer. We are being faithful to the text. To also.
1 John 2 verse 2 no. Na only embone hu empata.
What's it there?
Only embone hu empata.
Yam to yenya ho nyenko. 53 no S. 80 cent here. Who can Isaiah chapter 53 ya. Won to me and starting in Isaiah 53 verse 1. But over start 52 verse 2 ni say. Ofa Isaiah there sees grow now. On person yebeko because that is scholarship. Only fact to support no. Ofa ya throw in the Hebrew now. It was written from that point down. It is the 14th century and the verses you divide into verses and chapters. When the Bible was being written, it was written on a scroll. It is the time of Jesus. The Bible said that now far according to Luke chapter 4 verse 15. And I say verse 15, 16.
Luke chapter number 4
verse 18. That came from 14 to 18.
Okay. Luke chapter number 4 verse number 18. Okay, Luke chapter 4 verse 16. Now oba na zeta we no hono no.
When you interview ayeye.
Share them no original say obekin kan. No the odifo Isaiah ngoma e share nsa. Odifo Isaiah ngoma e share nsa.
Where you look na eka.
Luke 4 verse number 17.
But it is very difficult. Emre o kasa no, o kan asem bi e wa ha. Don't let anyone influence in the interpretation of the scriptures. Obia kasa pe. Na the person o kire ni say he has something we call a preconceived mind. So you can a preconceived mind or what trimupo or what trimupo be say. Maybe the Americans and mechanic say no. Sarah and a mechano. Sarah and a mechano. It in your Ubeka and to me sano. It is what say obia interpretation in yet. 2 4 ankasa and Mumaya 1 year and yet. Christians so for their end yet. Now also a researcher was there for 60 years. A quite bad sort of fast to see. So Bible in Kwan working Kaya. Bible ni yan tro ewo kimu. Yan tro ewo good news mu en Kwan. It what is a source. Nya me pesa me kire wa habi emu ni say. Working Kaya Bible. Ya wa ba so many translations. Ye wo KJV, ye wo good news, ye wo NIV. So Bible translation. There were 3 mechanisms employed. One is called formal equivalent. Another one is called certainty equivalent. The last one is dynamic or optimal equivalent. It will be a over interpreting and that's what translate the Bible depending on the method our person will use. It's a messiah for the essay. Nampesa me say futu ni ma Avraham ben Moshe say. O person who Bible. Now teaching doctrinal issue. You should not limit yourself to only the key version or the good news version. You need a lot of Bibles and 2, a knowledge of the original language. Because a true baby or see a tumiko original language, no. Said you can name over trick yourself. Zera means offspring. It means our bani bema adam and this who call original language anymore. Messiah yadai bin.
I count 5 minutes.
I come in 5 minutes. I may find 1 or 2 rebuttals.
Okay.
Me ba cha ko Isaiah chapter 49. Okotu Isaiah chapter 49. Bedru baby omu kan no ye smart jampo pa. Etuba kan verse kan from verse 1 now fast.
Isaiah 49 verse number 1. Was muntie enso anu aman. Na munya aso chichiri aman. Ewurade afra me afiri afurumu. Na ofirime na yam e na obo bedin. Na woyo ma no se afna nanam. Ane na ne nsa ase nyurumu e na wode me esieye. Na wode me eye ejan ya ehu awokwa. Na wode me sie ni nkotokuo emu. Na oka kire me se makoa na Israel menya ho animonyam. Na me de me ka se mabramagu na masama ho den ama adehunu ene awuhude na so matemu e wo awurade nsem na madwuma so ade e wo menyankopon nsem na afei awurade se je onwe na afiri oyefuru mu ese memaye no akoa na men sane Jacob memra ne nchen
verse 3
verse number 3 na oka kire me se makoa eno Israel menya ho animonyam na me de me ka se mabramagu
verse 6
verse number 6 ene wo se aye haru se wo baye makoa na wo ma Jacob emusuo eso
good
Jacob emusuo eso na wo de Israel mu wana wakora won no asane aba na me de wo baye amanaman amanaman
usia theology outmu say when ogusu a okasa aba no okasa fa Isaiah ho but through happen there has been a switch amanaman sa amanaman no yusu ye no wasua no onim Hebrew eye goyi Seka se goyi akọ Hebrew fo mu ana se Jew fo mu a ye ne amanama mu fo no they describe us as goyim eti abrebe mu ene ye ka kire Isaiah se ne so baba mfaso amanama nyina 2 abakwasemu ana se kire oni mu ehefa ne yehu se Isaiah ekwakoye adwuma ewa amanama fo mu eti mi de besi ha na mama ne time na ya to aso.
That is fair.
Coffee Radio.
Me ba chon yamoyensem
Coffee Radio.
I think that
radio station.
Said ye midi kan ye be sha midi kan ye no me say ye ni ha say ye ba be kontokwa na mum ye wa se ye be ye dey ye be sua de se o wi ase mu no enye ensa ene ensa na mum eye adwene ene adwene. We are here to learn. We are not here to fight. It mesre say baby a eduru no say obi ka bibi a obetimi abọ wonsem na ye ma dede no enye dey emra form say ye pon a debate in betimi ato aso compound no so because compound no eso nyame nhire obi biara amen.
Also for that say na himre some people say do ye betun safre ura Abraham Ben Moshe say o bibi opese obisa owuro Amissah.
Coffee Radio.
Okay. The mama can say ombre mo 10 minutes na bibi opese de soso no.
Try. Yo meda mebra Amissah se. Na mesre mebra no. Eya na ono episode kire se me yes smart ni ade so une ne ye debate na wo kase wi a on nsem a wo kan no na wabetototo nsem bi a wo kan na ode ahye menum obi obehwe video ni bi abehu na most sometimes I say a personal attack ni ade but ni na is okay o kan nsem bi ya bra e use word bi say me ni p black I say ya shada and a year twist Bible no into a can say me make can say of free na nya sanete there be a past tense me see obefifi man kasa me na me explain say a prophecy and can was say ye obefifi but o can a ofifri
yeah
me twist verse agede afei ebusia ya shed ya why justice men can say tie most of times oni baby or kasa no onu no nim said the ochirem
yeah
men fan some use word be say ya be ye debate ye hear any external information after we can dead sea scrolls use wa 2% yankopon ye mistake and one my young dead sea scrolls and I be quote to Abra Christopher good and one dead sea scrolls if you preach that payan samere mama you dey preach what them mother mudi preach wa and you valid you mudi dead sea scrolls preach wa hadia so mama you now say wada e wo ankasa wasa what say me say you person you prove your point Isaiah 53 a past tense. It's not just at the night me the burden of proof is upon him who makes a claim. One now watch no say which them me say me sua de na wie Jew for na book ni omo de akora man trust omo na wo Kristo ni Jew for na say ade na difficult to understand and am say mo kora na de na mu problem wa me check it based on the verse the chapter the book itself na me dey decode match them obi a otie ye bi anim de o proving the point and it dey o preach one ye what dey say yo Jesus yo Jesus obi say ehefa na ye bro Isaiah me pa chaw baby aye hwe Isaiah me kire anamanchire o say Isaiah me nkire baby Isaiah Yankopon suma ne ko amamem Isaiah chapter fa we
hello please let the noise come down
well sir and that there or can send me machiatum or send me me emphasize on the topic ne nka Bible ne ho but topic ne boa e ma wo hu de obekin kan de wo de be e wase ho machiatum Isaiah chapter black me be we am why dabi me yan kan verse ba me chiro nations ya Isaiah prophets e kan omo ho nsem se Nyankopon soma no a e yede ne Nyankopon de se ekuro ni vision e ma no Isaiah chapter 20 21 kan topic no bobo so obi an check one Bible 21
a vision of the fall of Babylon.
A vision of the fall of Babylon. It was Isaiah chapter 21 verse 11
a message about Edom.
A message about Edom. Edom Israel. Okay, now Sambra chapter 13 verse 13.
A message about Arabia.
A message about Arabia, other nation. 22 verse 1.
A message about Jerusalem.
A message about Jerusalem. On one in Crawford. Now 22 verse 15.
A warning to Shebna.
A warning to Ekrobia. Your friend Shebna. Bebre Isaiah. Nyankopon man message for other nations. Another one. Or say you can say Isaiah chapter 42. Or say onipano dabi obre ye kokuno no we mie na no. And o go to Matthew dia na ye bisa the question ya we mie na no no. And o see Peter kwarachitum. Baby Jesus kasai. John so say Jesus kasai. John chapter 18. Onipano yesi ye kokuno no. Omuana no. John chapter 18 verse 19. Onipano Isaiah 53. Yesi ye kokuno no. Omuana no. And onu go to Matthew chapter 26 verse 62. And the church say ye beside Jesus a question wanya den. Good. John
18:19.
John 18:19.
Was he of penny no?
It's Jesus ya. Wo si we mie na no no. And was of penny no.
Obisa Yesu esuafo.
Obisa Jesus na esuafo.
Me ne church no wan say.
Obisa say Jesus preaching man na preach no. To aso e.
Yes e one say.
And na Jesus bie na no. And obe na no. And na Jesus no kra wan kasa yie. To so udi slap. And na Jesus ka say.
Me de.
Osofo me Jesus de.
Me kasa pefe che wiase.
Me kasa pefe me kire wiase.
Da me church che dem.
Every day me preach wa so dem.
Me aso fie.
Any aso fie.
Fa kwa juda fo nyeshia.
Fa kwa juda fo nyeshia.
Na kokomu de.
Na kokomu de.
Me kan hwe. Na ade na bisa me.
Me pa cha aha no kra no with all due respect. As much Jesus kind na mesra mo. Jesus say kokomu me kan hwe. Oboa. Wa kan sembe. Wa kan Mami Chemubi, and some more kind of work any Matthew 16:13, and some of Jesus can cook maybe Jesus saw your Messiah. Oba yano, I also made we are singing and also the Odyssey. I also said, many Messiah no obedient kind.
Matthew 16:13.
Matthew 10 to this throne any Matthew 16:13.
Was yes to educate Sarah Philippi Femono.
Yesu ni esuafo no edu Caesarea Philippi fam no
obi say esuafo nse
onu Jesus free esuafo ne nko a ena obi so mo say
nipa so nipa badon ne hwan.
With all due respect, glorious thing the from say glorious word meaning say ye say asoli penyini okuta asafo no emu ehindasem enti asole no ye won nsem bi wa asole mu kura membe bi enim eye mpanyimfo ko enkoa ko ene kura asafo no ana meboa sa na Jesus na esuafo no te o secret bi a na esuafo nanim ento bi sa na esuafo no se
enipa si onipa ba no ne hwan
munam kromu a amanfo se mi Jesus me ye hwan
ene wo se
ene esuafo no se
ebinum se Yohane Suboni no
Jesus ebi so ye John the Baptist
na ebinum se Elia
ebi so ye Elijah
ene ebinum se
ene ebi so se
Jeremia
wo ye Jeremia
wana edifo no ba ko
ana tetete edifo ne ba ko wo ye reincarnation almost say we yet edifo ni bia wasanso ayede asanso aba toatoy
ya na ose won say
na Jesus bi say suafo ne say
na mo dem say me ne hwan
me pa cha mo hwa me Jesus me ya hwan
na se mo poto ebon say
na Peter e ka kire Jesus say
woni Kristo no onyankopon tiasefo ne ba
onyankopon tiasefo ba
Yesu ebo de suafo say
me pa cha tie Peter e ka say Jesus enyankopon ba no na Jesus ka kire Peter say
enhira ene wo
Peter when we say me Nyankopon ba dia enhira ne wo Peter
Yona ba Simon
ebi say efri say
yenye honam ni moja na yichire wo
enye honam ni moja na yichire wo
na meja awosoro no
eye meja awosoro e na de chire wo
na me so me say wo say
na me Jesus me ka kire wo Peter say
woni Petro
Peter asan eye Kefa nin aboba woni Kefa
na obuta so na bode masafo besi
eye wo Peter wo so e na me de masafo besi
na samando apono emu fa wo so
asamando apono emu fa so
na me de so ani safo ma wo
me de so ani ne safo aba ma wo Peter
bibi aba wo
wo chekere wo asase so a
na wa che wo so
ne chekere wo so
na bibi aba sana asase so
wo fam a
na wa sana wo so
ne asane wo so
verse number 20
obi enti ha verse 20
ena o hye esuafo no kete se
ena Yesu hye na esuafo ne kete ya ka se obi ahye obi kete a eye strong warning ena o hye na esuafo ne kete se
won kan che obi ase ono ne Kristo no
mamu kan kire obi ase me ne Messiah no eti pa cha no Jesus waka bibi secret ana waka bibi secret
waka bi ye
waka bibi secret John 18:19 John this lap
18 verse number 19
obedi sotro kan
was enos of penny no bisa esuafo
enos of ni bisa Yesu na esuafo
na cheche no wasem
we esuafo ni teaching en cheche no wasem
Yesu ebon say
Jesus ebu ase
me de
me Jesus de
me kasa pefe che wi ase
me kasa pefe me kire wi ase
da me cheche che dem
every day yahuda ya fast afa aboba mam why every day me preach wa so dem
any asofie fa kwaju de fo nyina
fa kwaju da fo nyina hia
na kokom de
na kokom de
me nka hwe na de no bisa me
we twantro oso nka hwe kokuram abrawa ka bi adenti na wo bisa me
bisa no tie no
bisa mo me preach ya mo tie ya no
ye ne de me si wo no
ye ne de me si wo
hwe won na onim de me kan
na
o kan sa no
enti abra Jesus kan sa no
asumfo ba ko oja ho no
soja ni ba ko ogina onim say Jesus eboa enti soja ni ba ko ogina ho no
wo boys asotro kan say
there were two types of slap there was sotro a efre wanim na eba ena ba ko fe slapping from behind where Jesus ye ni now ena soja ni ba ko de sotro fa Yesu afuntam why ena ka che Jesus
say the boys of penny ni
we ni su bire won said ye ni osofo akase ni
Yesu ebon say
ena Jesus dey say to ho ono nim say we twantro ena o ka say
say ba kan boni a
dey we kai who dey say we twantro
the bonu wadan say
anka ka che me say we twantro
na say ya ade na obo
ade na we hu me ni su say ena o say ka say ena o say iti ha no Jesus we twantro obi sam say he fa na Jesus di abonefo sem hwe entro ni biom ya woda mami aboba mami aboba we ya Mami abobe kunipa John 10:30
John
body dia muni mane John 10:30 I am my father are one on kan kwase ho hwentro Jesus be twa kan
John 10:30
John 10:30
was me ni eja no e ba ko
me ni eja no e ye ba ko me pam cha with all due respect nyankopon all size
dabi
say Jesus oye oba mpo a oba no ni tipa ni nyankopon
dabi
okay John chapter 14 verse 28 ko kan ye fast
John 14
Jesus enye ne size ni nyankopon kan na
John 14:28
eye ma say ye usu tiri mo de no do ye kan
John 14:28
John pastor at the time na ye to amesramo kasa why at the time pastor kan
was mate say me ka che mo say
aha Jesus say mo ate say me ka kire mo say
me ko
me Jesus me ko
na beba mo nchen
na
se bodo me a
enti Christopher say me do me Jesus ya
anka mo ni ba say me ko eja ne nchen
anka mo ni ba say me ko eja ne nchen
ye bi say
efri say
meja no
wo
ye kese sen me
the Father is greater than I am enti Jesus oni nyankopon ye pe ana mo nye pe enti obeke bususem John 10:30
was me ni eja na e ba ko
me ni eja na ye ba ko ode ne ho compare nyankopon jiwfo nim say ye bususem enti kana we
was na Juda fon tase ebo bi say o de besi no
me ba cho Jesus o ka so ye nyankopon ba ana no eja na ye ba ko o ka say o ye ne ba ana mo ye ba ko o mo ye ba ko kan
Was it yes to Ebon say?
Yes, who I say?
And you were prepared in my machemo.
That be Oma Mr. Point to start a kind.
Was it many China Bako?
Many a Jana Yabako
And a Judah for no.
and a Jew for no.
Yet I see a boy will say the Vicino.
Almost I see Abuba say, Omubesi Jesus Abo.
Yes, Ebon say.
Jesus who Abubano and what can say?
And you were prepared in my machemo.
Oh, I don't know Mugufu. Miracles be bring my yatram.
I fear Jan chain.
I fear Jan and chain.
Now, a moody won't know Missy.
A moody a wine to Bessie Abu.
I do that for the bone say.
And a Jew for the catch Jesus say.
And yet you are pointing the Besu.
And your miracles linked in the Yesiwabo.
Now, a Busentra.
Name a Bususem because Obid no companion Yankopama, a Bususem.
Yeah.
Isaiah chapter 42, verse 8. Yankopon Simini being a dying. And Jimmy can you babem?
Was it every say?
Every say.
What are you in the panel?
Who Jesus ya we in the panel?
Oh, you also Yankopo.
Over South Chester, we in Yankopon.
Yes, Ebon say.
And Jesus man answer say.
One trend moment say.
We kura okotu ne wrong. Or say ya throw emranim. Enim
Yeah.
or peginim. Ya kasa the law, the Torah.
Yeah.
Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers and Deuteronomy.
Yeah.
As some of Jesus you go to know ewo enyumunim.
Yeah.
Psalm 82 verse 6.
Yeah.
And in this context, Jesus watching.
Yeah.
Kind. Na yamba bem.
Yes, Ebon say.
And yes bua say.
One trend moment say.
Ya throw Psalm 82 verse 6 say.
Make us say we nyame.
Make us say we nyame. And also you wrong. Hono na Nyankopon ne judges na kasa.
Yeah.
Hebrew word na shako no original Hebrew no Elohim the judges
Yeah.
no no kasa.
Yeah.
Ken kan yamba bem.
Was it make us say we nyame?
Make us say we nyame.
Say of friend one on the question about China.
Jefre mu Nyankopon samba mo nche nyame.
No one to me say trend.
Na won to me say atrena na.
Na ade ti mo ka de jai ne konkron.
Ada na mo ka de agya na yin
No
kronkron.
asoma no wi aso say.
Na wasoma ni wi ase ne say.
Wo ka bususem.
Wa ka bususem.
Enam say.
Enam say.
Me kan say.
Me kan say meba. Obe kire de okan. Me pa tro e de na okan wo top no. Oka so ya ne ba no ne agya ne ba ko. Hwantro kan.
Was it enam say?
Enam say.
Me kan say.
Me kan say.
Nyankopon ba eneme.
Nyankopon ba ne me. Ba cho oka so ya ba.
Na bi.
Eti we twantro no twantro.
We twantro.
E de ti no twantro.
Abobo na.
Aboba kan na pantan na be. Wait.
2 minutes to wrap.
2 minutes more.
Yeah,
Okay.
wrap up, 2 minutes.
Afei openyin ka say menkyere baby a obi wu ma obi o me se ne ma mienu ya wo punishment ene ye wo consequence ene wo ka kire wo ba say adwoa say wo sa enkwan ni bia mebo eye punishment say wo de wo nsaka enkwan na ebe hyew eye consequence. You touch the soup, you get consequence. One udibia mebo Bible ni baby Isaiah dia no owo no owu ni boni osuaye no eye the consequence of his work.
Yeah.
Oko preachi o kasempa ye bono because of Israel. Enye se Isaiah bewu e ma boni a Israel for di ye no waso se Christian concept.
Yeah.
Obi so obi boni.
Yeah.
Enti e bi wo the throw way Exodus chapter 34 verse 5. Ohono Moses ka say Nyankopon oye Nyankopon ni nkunfo a otua ejanom emumu yosoka efa emaso ekosi awonto atoaso miensa ene na wotame so ene nkyere say wudi bone a Nyankopon de papa bone no papa di bone a ode be ma ne ba.
Yeah.
But papa di bone a ne ma no ebe sofa consequence. Me Avraham manhwe me hu yi na medane am robber sebe na me ko jaila me face punishment.
Yeah.
But my children will face the consequence of my stupidity.
Yeah.
I don't know part them.
Okay.
The
Okay.
FNC, yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Thank you. Okay.
Medase. Minyanam say obo adwuma.
Yo.
Na me start free baby.
I am a twin no.
Medase. Me start afi baby o end ye no. Say Isaiah consequence and what? Punishment. Eti me pesa o kan text no e ma me say. Nia ye describe wo ho say ono na so a won bone no. Does that mean the consequences of his work? And I sin and I say iniquity or issue the Hebrew word avon.
All-around radio station.
Rebellion against the laws of God. Eti Isaiah oye nyankopon adwuma. Na nkrofo no antie no. Esi dan and osan besoa oman no abone ho ase menya antie ase. Ose oboa me e wo ho.
Coffee Radio.
Ochire bibi e wa ha se Dead Sistro who asem why any other dead Sistro actually my brother is demonstrating
Coffee
a high
Radio.
sense of ignorance. Sir, no, tie. I'm speaking as a scholar, I've studied. So we can say Dead Sea Scroll, manuscript, Bible history, you don't have the moral right to discuss it. That is period. Because one, and we talk about the credibility of the document in question. Last time, Mechiremo said, "Se obi chere and now say who fenim bi every baby or say who say one, the document or the information is credible. Two, you have to know that the integrity of the document is intact. It is as a young tuning in a mudia, and then him dear Ben who yaso say nipa, yedia who etoso. Yes, near young Shemu, Naya who say no crenti, yet puppet near chair members, Yawa hotos workers here. By the way, Christianity is not an ignorant religion, and just a few thrown about to her, it is historically grounded. Most people have researched into the history, they have come to the conclusion, and they have agreed that yes, Ampa Eyanokre. Okay, Bibi or John 10:30. Can you hold mame?
John chapter 10 verse number 30. Was a many Jano Aya Bako. Verse 25. Yes, it was okay. Verse number 22. Now, I saw if you afashe edru. I was Jerusalem. Now I was our bread. Now, yes, and I saw if you was sort of my abana so. And I either follow me and was saying, say, Woman, ya try I could see that bay. Sauni Christo no apa mukache impefe.
Wuni Christo no apa mukache impefe. So I made the answer two questions. Or person or say. Udru baby, Christ taught only in secret. One our public. Me pesa mi chro adema who say from beginning of the book na ye kaino. At a point, okay, John chapter 4 verse 25 going and now 24 now. Embra oshia oba no e wo subura ne ho no. Oba ni bisan say ya te say Messiah bi beba.
John chapter 4 verse number 25. Oba no say no say Messiah wo fa ni Kristo no eba.
Messiah wo fra ni Kristo no e eba.
Na say oba ono oba kire ye num nyina.
Ono oba kire yi mu nyina.
Yesu say no say me a me ne wo kasa yi.
Me a me ne wo kasa yi.
Me ne no.
Eti ha no. Yesu onye secret and that's offense here. Nia ewo mu ni say the point I want my brother to go home with tonight in the sense, Bible, you have to understand the context. A day tin of fresh for now, or catch it say, Emma Munko and Country Obia, or Barney Samaria ni, Jew for the baby and Ojinano. They were eager expecting a Messiah. So should they see that he is the Messiah, they will automatically enthrone him, which will defeat his purpose. And nothing at a point. Now, I'm person who follow Essin Henry. Etitie, Onyam.
Hello.
I'm sir, they don't know. Master, about your time. John chapter 4 now, you can't hear no. And son, all Kwakoshia or Banu will see you. What can verse 1, verse 2 now? Was it was a must. It was time that he must pass through Samaria.
Yeah.
That time now we used to honor. Who's your Greek? I were 2 times for times. You were Chronos and you were Kairos. So you can say Chronos. It talks about the time. I mean, no. So you can say the Kairos. It's the opportune time. But the phrase so you see how you Ede. So you can say Ede. What the Greek now him how we do conjugation and declension. It was divinely orchestrated and purported that was the time that the identity of his messianic will be brought onto other people. It is only Peter no more kasano na ne bre enyanson. And to John chapter 2 krana emro kwa yifushia na se no na ne maami baka kire ne se enkrofo e won sansan asebe no kan oso bre enson. It is the Bible was who the context and you understand it. 2, the concept of Messiah no Isaiah chapter 14, Isaiah chapter 7, Daniel chapter 7 verse 14. Am I a clue about who the Messiah will be? Daniel chapter 7 verse 14. Yankai. Who can Psalm 110 verse 4? And also my a clue. All these things are given
2 minutes.
That scriptures are an idea about the relationship between this Messiah and the God. It's a say, I and my Father are one. word I will use you on SL no say he has an origin, a direct relationship with the Father. And not the match that has said. There were two words for relationship. There were biological and there were the relational. It's I and my Father are one now. He was talking about the relationship. Said okay, John chapter 1 verse 1. And I came proston and oh logos. It's in the Greek in the beginning was the word, and the word was with God, and the prostantion now used to and say he has a direct link with God. It is a Bible now, and that's how baby. You need to be very serious. But me person me so topic I can want some hand say who is the sovereign servant in Isaiah chapter 53. Also, one sign cohobium. Okay, they don't do paraphrasing. Can Isaiah chapter 53, verse 3, no, Emame. Now, young kind so ever.
Isaiah 53 verse number 3. Was no bunanim tia. Na mema prono. Na oyoni pa hu ayade.
There be also obey free.
Isaiah 53 verse 1. When what you asan kana die na ewale basa no. When so na da di amanu ehunu. Ofifiri se dufuro e onanim.
Ofifiri the word I will use you honu enie. My mention word na say na fi ye nyina ye nti ase. Wo kai King James na was say for he shall grow. Verse 3. Was say when we for he shall grow up before him as a tender plant. Kan emayen.
Isaiah 53 verse 2.
He shall grow.
Isaiah
it is a funny definition in Ghana. And yes, of free name of be free. What kind as anti-troll for frona abana and no a use to obey free. It was say to me at here. Obi was anti-troll now. Isaiah chapter 53 as anti-troll.
Isaiah 53 verse number 2.
Obi kind as anteno amaye.
Hello.
Kaya Santino am I?
1 minute to wrap up.
The battle Australia coin MM time, so we put it in this debate.
The battle Isaiah chapter 53, verse number 2. Where a new word translation. Obefi said Dubai.
Obefi free, and nothing was free. And nothing I mentioned said. Who's your Bible? You need more Bibles to teach on doctrine.
Yeah.
And that's how far back. Debbie.
Isaiah 53 verse number 2. That is King James version. For he shall grow up.
For he shall grow up
before him as a tender plant.
Translational mechanism no. There will be a friend certainty equivalent. Certainty equivalent. They say, Ufa Greek and Hebrew now. Word for word translation. It is not a word in it here. Translating them. There was dynamic equivalent. Dynamic equivalence. They say. Translating ordinary people can read it for devotional purpose. It will study Bible. There were Bible for studies and doctrinal purpose. There were Bible for devotional. Bible which said the Message Bible. What can you know about word back on about 3 meanings? That is it will limit body in a bed. Yet also. Make time. That's how we do the debate.
Okay.
Sentia, ya got some time I so make us and my mintre mobi antiasie. Me jami mrenibi for rebatters. It is done. I am coming back to Isaiah chapter 53. Isaiah chapter 53 verse 8. Kind verse 7 ni 8 mami.
Isaiah 53 verse number 7 and 8. Was na wasa na hwaya. Na wono de wa bra ne ho ase. Na wa mwe na no. Ese egwama a wode no ekwa akoko no. Ese odwante a wato ne nitwafo anim emum. Ono nso we mwena no no de ahodwan ne atamu ayi no koy na ne brazo fo nso wan ene wo dwen ne ho se wo him no afiri atiasefo asase kro
se oyi ni fi atiasefo asase so no last minute no agi wa ho from Daniel chapter 9 verse 24 who came brofo na was he was cut off. That cut off means that he was killed. He was killed no verse 13 of the 52 verse now a fiansana the result of the death is going to be established. 52 ni be make meaning. 50 52 no verse 15.
Isaiah 52 verse number 15.
And from verse 13. No.
Verse 13. Pre makwa bedu no nyansam.
Was it makwa benyi nyansam?
Na oba sore na wama no so na wakon se.
Sorry ne wa man so bere bai no be sorry ne wa man so. And ye be kan wa ha ne ka be kan me bia kan ye ni bi.
Isaiah 53 verse number 7. Was na washa no ahoya. Verse 20 verse 8. No de ahonwa ne atemu eyi no koy. Na ne braso fo nso. Wan ana odwe ne ho. Se wahwim no afiri atasefo atase
so. Se wahwim na fi atasefo atase so. And ha kire se obe sorry. O sorry ayen hwe the results to aso.
Na me man emra 20 ana obo no.
Ne man emra 20 no obo no.
Na wo man no ne dam no efra abonefo ene adefo de. Na e woni wuo mu.
Ne wuo mu. Na the cut off.
Na so wani abanfosam
wani abanfosam
na nada eni nanum na eso awurade ni se wodwa no bon yade
so awurade ni so ye dan
wodwa no bon yade se wonya ne kra to ho
se wonya ede ne kra to ho still waiting say onya ede ne kra eto ho
eye asudie afode a
asudie afore sacrifice offering. I have still not gotten my answer. And cross-examination maybe sir. Ahifa and Isaiah ede ne kra to ho say asudie afore mi bisa mesa bisa biem to aso
na the eso awurade any afone nsa so ayeye
na afone nsa so ayeye ti Isaiah tumadie no ni yie die ayedi ye ne say cross-examination question 2.
Obehunu asefo ne na beware.
Obehunu asefo ne na ebeware. Ne na beware say he will continue to live for foreseeable future. Isaiah owai.
Wow.
Ne na ebeware ti Isaiah na eware na ewai. Cross examination question 3.
Akanompe. Verse 11. Na obehunu ne kra mu bre ho ade amen.
Obehunu ne kra ani die mu dai. Kan ma me.
Obehunu ne kra bre mu ade amen.
Eye obekan ho ama me cross examination.
Me feel say yes you there pa and yimbre yes you there pa enti you do cross examination this time we will allow the debaters to ask you do cross examination It's a makwan ena ura Moshe ebisa ura Amissah ensembise bia o kakan ya anto na so mede anase on tiase no ya ma no kwan 15 minutes so on bisa their office bisa bia nti ebuem kwam to 15 minutes. I think this time we have to go by time because time is beating us, so please 15 minutes and exactly 15 minutes.
Try.
Open Amissah. Pacho, the question is kind. Sisiano, ya can Isaiah 53. Okofa new tree, your old tree, any new tree. Old tree, you know, and your past tense. New tree, I in the future tense. May be so, be sincere and honest. In the original Greek, a Hebrew, Isaiah 53, and your past tense and a present tense.
Future tense.
None
of your questions.
Tanakh nini?
And you read the Tanakh no.
Yankai. Isaiah 53. She medical catch them. Masa. Enye krema enye. Why? Mesramo. She mumma yenye honest. Na nipa nkwa ene didi agrosa no. Yo.
Matthias yanka Tanakh no.
Kai. Je Famano, open mano. Isaiah 53, kind verse 1.
Verse number 1.
Verse 1.
Was he who would have believed what we have heard?
Who would have believed what we have heard?
Yeah.
To us where?
For whom has the arm of Hashem been revealed?
To us where?
Formerly, it grew like a sapling or like a root from arid ground.
To us where?
He had neither form.
He had neither form.
We saw him.
We saw at the end of past tense.
Yeah.
Please, who beside me question, mommy answer. Muntie, ya kind Tanakh. Aye Hebrew Bible, Babrofo, and ya kind. T1, or see a TS, yes, sir. I even dispute the credibility of this document.
Magiatum.
Fantastic. What is the Hebrew word? Let me give you the Hebrew word. Please, you were trying to make a point. No. My yes. What should I say? Let's go to the original, please.
Anna Ceciano, Waka new key, and some pacho, Omo the old key. I what past tense. Atratra Nancy Yatro new key. At the idea past tense.
Let us say
future tense.
Let me answer. Who began the question?
Maybe some question is
all right.
You have a way of asking my questions and how I end them. Yo.
All right, maybe. Or making allegation about the tree, old and new. And no, Mr. Question,
Meba. Abusia. Osumbia o baby started. Quran started or Arab mem. But obeying in limit, say. Ya pesa yes from the telecovi singing. And yen translate a book, no, and qual language ya amount for Betiasi. Israel for him say. Omu krano mu yehi Israel for no. Hebrew ni bi wa you ancient Hebrew and then Hebrew omu kan sesia. And so omu translate there una also the authority di. Jew for na translate say ye na de na ye de ano. Say na de na ti. Ye wo twi Bible a eno na yesua free titi up to nanse ye you.
That is gross misrepresentation of the concept. He is not lecturing, he's asking questions. This is a professional debate. It will make you allegation have to come in. Because the possibility about misleading the public is high. I have to come in. And that's why about misleading the public with the greatest respect.
Hello. If you want to ask questions, it should be a question. It should be a question. Question and then answer will follow. It shouldn't be a question with statement. Please.
Maybe some question. Time any media. I was saying me question him. Ana no more tia sia na me de mano. Nti open ni kasa.
Okay.
Eti bacho Bible bia Isaiah 53. Eye past tense no mo ntwentwene won.
Amissah. Question ya there.
All right.
Bible sa egu ha. Ye wo good news. Ye wo RSV. Your new international or Payanfa Bible who do in na yenkenkan King James pair and ya semwa homosexual am I translate Bible ya de adwuma King James pair and
hello
enyentro madam ya no kra enyentro adawe bi onim mama nya we
it's okay
what's akwese
hello it's okay
akwese Jesus picture no among for him say Caesar Borgia obi a yefa ne to oye gay aje akere ti abotre yan kan every Bible versions who do nyina e pastors King James o che o akase bi ade kana nimbisa next question
may that say MC Agusu ayetie we making first allegation is here one. I am disputing the credibility of this text because I am a student of scriptures. Two, I have studied. Please, you know what?
Tanakwe.
Abraham, have you read? Are you familiar with the Council of Jamnia? Are you familiar with the Council of Jamnia?
Forget the council. Mibisa say Tanakwe are authentic and authentic. Open Mibisa. Tanaka me pray, but your interlinear Bible no dey buy. One interlinear number. Udrufia, be sincere and honest to yourself. The interlinear Bible nim. Hebrew ni gunchen no. Now we say your past tense may catch us say.
And I may say Hebrew word the brain and no issue here's the issue. Okay, you are ask your questions.
Me say udrufia, be honest and sincere. What we say in the previous debate. Okra catch them say Isaiah 53 me say ya bande ewo Israel na me feed you for nchen ko be 2 years ni go fie pe quickly and am ko research and then me teach no me de kan one na man friend kan Be honest and sincere to the audience. It is only a wise person who says, I don't know, I was wrong, I have accepted it. It means mema ye njina dom wenim na enipa ni meni munyam nti ye twist niama nti kasa.
Let us say, I am still stating, say, the Hebrew word used here suggests a future tense, but not a past tense. And I've inquired, say Obama me the Hebrew word you've not been able to give. The Hebrew word is alab, A-L-A, and I say ayin, if I'm to spell it in Hebrew. It is future tense, but not past tense. 2. The Tanakh aye kitano. Say your original Hebrew na kesa crown podia. I would have even accepted. And Niobia was your history behind himself. 70 AD. Something happened in the life of the Jewish people when the Romans captured them, destroyed the temple. Judaism is built on sacrificial system. Now the temple is not there. They cannot sacrifice again. So what should they do? They met as a council to redefine Judaism to mean works. And apart from that, you have to redefine Judaism to mean works. Baby, I would say I want Jew for the Bible way now. Jew Nibia the Bible way now. Amazon. No say Matthias here.
To the arena, me question.
90 AD. No, Avraham, you know me, I also know you. And we've been in a group, but certain things are not for public consumption. I know what I'm talking about, but I can prove it beyond doubt.
Okay.
But tonight we talk about epistemology. To ask me answer you. What be some question, mommy answer. Okay. Define Judaism to mean works, you know. And say in that council. And we'll see on pay history. To me, for history, man, I have the evidence here. Says a Sadia, Christopher, I were then, who were Jews. And let me tell you, so because I said Jew for and G Christo and here, Christ had Jewish who were following him. And what no fear says so more compile Talmud. And what no fear says so more prepare all the Jewish literatures. Among those things, and as our Bible whereby the manuscript for this Bible, you have read the Masoretic text. And it came in the 10th century. It is too late for me to accept the credibility. As a scholar, I believe that there is a concept and as a perception following this particular Bible. That is why I'm disputing it.
Okay. Your next question. Next question.
Osha date ya. Okra obobo for Jew for no. Now see when you tum. Not tree Bible in through 3 years you buy. Now we just tum dia.
Yeah, to us, but I may respond. Oh, thank you. The Bible, no, what is that question? No, that statement not for public. Let me clarify.
Kasa.
Okay.
Yeah, me pass me about the key Bible, Old and the Revised Version. They say, me professor Chema, the hermeneutics and biblical Greek. Professor Ekem in Ghana here is the leading consultant in translating the Bible into all the languages. Now, as language evolves, who said no, this word could have been translated better. And not in a student of the word, always be, and we prefer say young original language, because the closer you are to the original language, the better you get the concept. And a two, word baako ewo Greek kasem, it can mean 4 words in English. English and key is limited by language. It's limited by words. It's your word bit is agape. Agape means love. Phileo means love. Storge means love. And eros also means love. It is a yes kasem Peter agapeo. Agapasme, na Peter kasa filioa. Obeka said, Peter, do you love me? Meanwhile, Jesus has used agapasme and Peter is using philoe, which means the lover Peter is Jesus is different. As we continue to study, we have to interpret and answer, revise the scriptures to make it consumable. You read the name here. So what? In the end to us.
Unim. Obi oye no kwafo bia o se omufa King James no the person be research King James na odi sentence no call future o kan ba o say past tense ho obi an check ukura Bible fi a check yo o say
try
yen kan people kan na hwe ade no ye ni future
yeah he shall grow that word no it word be a bia no see the original it me in context please we are
learning me say what say or the words need their future me say what to aswa e be say your past tense.
It depends on the context. It depends on the context.
Okay, next question.
Obi all should be it here.
Next question, please. Your next question.
Open ni wunchire mu no. Uchire mu say Jesus ye ku oni adeboneyefo. Na emum odefo ene kofa ni sie no. But Isaiah 53 verse 9 can specifically say nipa no ye be sie oni adeboneyefo. Yen kan
Isaiah 53:9.
Amen. Kase wan kan sa ma yen kan. Why Mr. Wa?
And he made his grave with the wicked and with the rich in his death.
Can be
What is the Hebrew word for the grave here?
Open. No. Grave,
please. Huh?
Hello.
No.
Hello.
What
hello.
is grave?
Hello. Hello.
Say they know as it's trying to say.
Hello. Ya pa mucho ma de number from why. Na yen to aso.
No.
Enye grave.
Me pacho.
Common sense family please.
CSF.
Mama de number from why. Ya pa mucho why. Hello.
Order.
Ya pa mucho de number from why. E bo yo to aso why.
Nya me chire e wa ha ne say.
Open ni mama no nsi.
Me bam cho yesra mo ye be start no ye di kan sembi. Me ye sure say if a church na ya mo be ka sa sorry for mponie. Ye di kan say obi an comport no mesre mo. Ye di kan say mesre mo. Ye di kan say ye ni ase ye baba be ko. Masa oba so be ko a me ya pege wasi abontene emema wa hasene o mesrew emema wo fi hasene o
debate ya no
oba so wo be ko tie me no let me talk. Oh no
osomeba manager tinase manager abusia masa mo wen debate ya no oni abotra me mase munya abotre enya wonko a ebi wechi omo asole toto nsa munyai enya fe
hello so they didn't can no we a battle of ideas no battle of physicals
enti enya wona wotena ase no de obeke bia no yemfa ye na yetena ha de no mutie ti mesra mo
enti asem why
no obi aso hwe
ya kire enya ntokwa why esem okay question biwa
me question
Pacha, I will comment on that. Last obisa question bisa omuye hey no utradi ko Facebook HSF admitted it because social media and this video in the technological world. No, who make a statement? Yes, say video work macho, and they pick that one without putting it in context.
No, trap money at you. No,
and that trap.
No trap on the power.
Good. My main commenting on this, and that trap. The statement was that.
Mami, repeat the question.
Bizarre question.
Isaiah 53 verse 9 yankan twi na ewia no wakan brofo no
okay
me ba cha muntie wanka se nipa no ye bekum one adeboneyefo da bi muntie asem de kan
wasi omani damna efa aboneyefo
ye ma ne damna pacho damna ye grave ye ma ne damna efra adeboneyefo na ye besie one adeboneyefo.
The same thing, and I see nothing wrong with this because the guy said Damra grave.
Manager meba.
No, I mean Trim. Because you want to make a point here, but I see no point here. Say you call Naswa. Yen to me can say you do a sikania na the otini na to yen to me see any pabonini ewa. It's bueno. I don't see any point here. My own reading. Now it makes no sense.
It makes perfect sense.
Esiye bi abeko bi enipa huro bebre ni esi omo. So sikani o. Ohiani o, obonifu o, omu nyina yese wese ukwa udome. Ukwa udoma, adefo ni ho.
Member, eti Jesus na wo de ama no so emfa because wo kire mu say ye kum Jesus ene adeboneyefo.
Good.
Na esan say oye nipa kronkron na Joseph of Arimathea.
Accepting so person ordinary tuning learning and what is wrong with that?
In Isaiah 53:9. Trese. Yesie.
Wankasa twi na nkanisa. Wose na ye man na afra aboyefo.
Ni na ni grave.
The grave wose na ya so. Ye kosie ya na huro bebre na ho.
Na ye grave.
Dabi. Meba kan biem. Wo de kan twi no.
Meba.
We want to play with words. Obi.
Enna ye den.
Adu chirem me say, menti asia ne say, enna so eyesie ya bebi esie nipa.
Grave.
Eti say yam opa chire say, na opa chire ne say, enna ba ko ana say grave ba ko no, ye di nipa ba miensa Yesu kan ho no preta na be so chire. No, is that what the text is saying? Okay, one kind.
Femano. Verse, kind good news, verse 9.
Verse 9.
Verse 9.
He was placed in a grave.
He was placed in a grave
with evil men.
With evil men.
Good.
Now say nipa na ne wanse mo no. Ye de oni adeboneyefo e na egu grave mu. Me be say question. Jesus, yesie ono nko anoni adeboneyefo.
I don't know make sure say your understanding of this text is even false.
You are dodging what the question is telling us.
No.
You are not being honest.
I'm not dodging the question.
You are not being honest, Minia.
No, that is not what he's saying.
Do you know the problem? CSF.
I don't have any problem. You are trying to be smart.
Yeah, actually we are singing now dear. Dear mucha with them and yamuntanasi. Muna mugu dem hano. Mun chain mo and yes, mun chain mo dodo or Facebook and the chain. When you pay we 5,000 and every on social media. Mo ya say waha. Mun ye dina muma yen trade. Area sing now. Semina me kanu kuro bia be hu ono kanu kuro be hu the ododge question obi abe hu mesra mo mama en comport ya me pam chewo me ni die mu why
abusia for ye tie no mama people like muame on kan twi no King James yan kan good news na fi yan hwe
ya be kan
look at the context
o pay na misa me nim say your problem is with me
or not with you
me ba or with
your understanding of the text that is the problem
yan kan
you better say Bible horo be 9 ni ahwe
mum bia ni na
Kan King James kan New Living Translation bi atwi ni so kan bi atwi 9 kan 9 no
Isaiah 53 verse number 9 Isaiah 53 verse 9 and he made his grave with the wicked.
Wait, you can't say wait as anything. No, bro, for you can't say with the wicked as anything.
He can be
no. He made his grave with the wicked.
Isaiah 53 verse 9.
Verse 9.
And he made his grave with the wicked and with the rich in his death.
He made his grave with the wicked.
And to wait, Nasi anything.
Wait.
Oh no, wait. No, you can't say I am with Obadiah. I am with this person. What does that mean? Does that mean sir we are in the same shoes?
Meba.
I am with you.
Meba.
No, I am with you. We are speaking English.
Kind good news, no?
Kind good news is in here.
Oh, you have a revised standard version.
Isaiah 53 verse number 9.
Verse 9.
Wait, the Good News Bible. And he was placed in a grave with evil men, and he was buried with the rich. Even though he had never committed
what's it wait? And I'm saying wait,
one kind of
no.
To me, you question me. I know.
And that question, I mean to me, you want to be smart, but your basis of the question is wrong. Please, why you brought for the Akayo? Yankasi and original language, Mukra. Yes, they have disputed it.
What's your gun? What dispute you for? What's your house? You go to Jewish sources. What's your castle? Go to Jewish sources. The Jew fund the about rejected. Here, yes, a son of 4 years, 3 years. What's your authentic?
That is gross misrepresentation.
You see how hypocrite you can be.
I am saying, sir, a document is incredible.
I have not rejected.
Tanakh no so de no.
Tanakh no verse.
Isaiah 53 verse number 9.
Verse 9.
He submitted himself to his grave like wicked man.
Like a wicked man. No, me it's a difference in how do we reconcile it? I'm not playing smart.
You are playing smart.
That is absurd English on your side.
Hello.
My counsel. Next question.
Please.
Hello, let the public judge.
Why does it matter?
You have one more question.
Hey, 15 minutes.
15 minutes. 15 minutes.
Yeah, 15 minutes. Yeah. Ason.
Sir, through debate. Now be smart. Also mean play. Debate you started. We play with words and a Hebrew now.
Why?
Mr. Abraham, it's okay. It's okay.
There be a moment of time.
It's okay. We are debating. The audience will make the judgment by themselves. It's not you that will conscientize them, please.
Yo.
So, Mr. Amissah, it's your turn now. So, 15 minutes for cross-examination.
Yes. Mebacho. Eyese ewiase nyina ehwe. Na yegusu a yesua de. I have never claimed on any platform. No, I have not done that. But yegusu a yesua de. And the matter will say obi the information be ba. Prayer Abraham ben Moshe advice. Was a woman boy chire. Say Abraham so chire wadia boy chire. It is very simple. Abraham. But my first question to you, and say, Majiri yesa wasua Jew for adisua. Wo Jew for adisua mono. So, wasua hu na wati ase say. Onipa etumi hu ema oman no ana. Sani awode taxi ema azaya no.
Nipa etumi hu mo oman.
But hefa eni ebehu saa.
In the contest say, eya ye ka say ya nananom ehwie omoja egu ho edemayen nti se obi fight for a good cause na owuma sojeni ekogina ntokwa no magana na owu a wewu dia mo man no afei mama explaining say
Mbacho Matthias yeye
okay
maybe theological and biblical question manya social studies answer
ena me baba you am
me say Jew for addition
me wi me baba ibu mu na say yeye mama ndra ba ibu ni me well say
Hello.
well say
Hello. Please. Emma didn't bring from na insua there why? My insua.
Obi wu ama oman in what context? Nyankopon chi human sacrifice according to the Bible. Say ye di nipa ebo afode wo chi. But edru okoa no na obi sacrificing a life. They said the Philistine for any Israel. David is sacrificing life. Ye kum David anka we wu amawan Israel. Be no nkyere se obesoa wo mopone. Owu na ye de mopone ache. That contest no enni Judaism say wo bi ewu ma wo bi pone. Enti Asia 53 contest no ena me ba ka me kira wo amane enimguase ehwe any ebro Isaiah oji because of Israel and na Israel for chirem Isaiah 53
me da se pa still nya ye ka wa ha ne se asudie afore wo Jews sum because in this contest kai mame in this contest we say asudie ho afore o ye den
Isaiah 53 verse number 10 na eso ewrade ni se wo je no bon yade
eso ewrade ni se
ojure ne bon yade
ojure ne bon yare
se onya de ne kra to ho ye asudie afode
se onya de ne kra to ho se asudie afore no ho asem na me bisa o
e de ne asudie afode asudie me ba chawo asudie no na da hwan so why na asudie dabi why na asudie ndan so o man Israel e na asudie ne dan so e na Isaiah e de ne nkwato wo se ewrade soma me na me kwa ye adwuma atwe mba ampa Isaiah kansempa ye bro no ohunamane owu ye
purpose nti a owu ye no ebe mu anamem ebem ma kire ni nyina dada
Call Leviticus kai mame.
Leviticus chapter 5 verse number 7.
Ya hwe asudie afore ni ahwenkyeremu ade anyan